What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the WrestlePurists podcast, episode 45. I'm joined by Charlie, our new debutant, a fellow Brit of mine. You know, it's good to get some Brits on here.
Yeah,
Finally,
it's going to be weird for everyone else having two English accents to listen to.
And then the realest nigga in the fucking room, always Big AO.
Needs no introduction, you know. The draw. The ticket
draw,
seller,
the tallest nigga on Twitter, the slowest nigga on Twitter, the most handsome nigga on Twitter, funniest nigga on Twitter, all that shit.
Yeah, but if you haven't noticed, Backup Hangman isn't with us just yet. He will be joining us. He's you know, we try to be professional.
I have a note from our friend Backup Hangman. He will not be joining us. He sent me this letter in the mail. And it says, it came in the mail. And so it says, hello, AO. It is me again, Hollywood Hangman Adam Pierce. I'm here with a heavy heart to pass this note along to you, Big AO, who I see as a big brother figure, even though he's younger than me. I can no longer take part in being in the WrestlePurists podcast, seeing as you are so much more handsome, so much more successful, so much funnier, so much smarter than me. I can no longer delude myself into thinking that I am an asset to the WrestlePurists podcast. And for that, I'm taking a step away, a leave of absence to get my money up, my bitches up, and my overall sauce up. Because I'm out here looking pathetic. It's disgusting, blood. I'm finished out here. P.S. I'm a cuck. P.P.S. AO took all my bitches, frowny face. And yeah, he drew the frowny face with his hand. She was crazy.
Well, I wish you would. I wish I was
crazy, Hangman. I don't know why you told me that. I'm not into anything bro. But
I wish you would have. I wish you would have came to me sooner. You know.
I'm saying, bro, it's unprofessional.
If he holding all that to himself, it was, you know, must have been tough for him, man. But yeah, like I said, sorry to hear that about Backup Hangman. He may join in if he has a change of heart. You know, if he stops being scared of AO, we never know. But yeah, man, I want to Backup Hangman likes to do whenever we have a new person on the podcast, like we have now with Charlie. He likes to kind of ask him a couple questions, you know, grill him a little bit, you know, let the audience kind of get to know you a bit. So, Charlie, obviously, kind of give us a, you know, kind of a quick picture of your fandom, like who are your favorite wrestlers, how did you get into wrestling, etc., etc.
So, Charlie, no, this is hard time. So, Charlie, give us a little background on how you got into wrestling. When did you start watching wrestling? Who are your favorite wrestlers? Who are just like, what is just?
Why are you making him sound like Velveteen Dream, bro?
When it comes to wrestling, that's how Hangman told.
Yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
Well, my family watch it, so I've been watching it since I was like young. Obviously WWE, TNA were the big ones. Those who know me know that the Bucks are some of my favorite of all time. When they left TNA, I followed their career pretty much, and that's how I found Ring of Honor and all that. And yeah, just been watching since.
Wait. So you weren't joking on the timeline, like every time you said like, no, I was a Generation Me stan.
No, I was a big fan.
That's
that's not a bit that I do.
Because you know I love the Young Bucks now, but I didn't really see much in Generation Me. I did like the more bang for your buck though, but other than that, I was just like, who the fuck are these two small ass jobbers? But besides that, I didn't really see it. But now I know the truth.
Well, tag team wrestling's always been my favorite, and I just thought they were cool, and they did flippy shit, and I really got into that. So,
you know, everyone pops.
Shit. Monty's favorite.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not a hater, man. You know, I'm not a hater. I you know, I pop for the Young Bucks. It's all a bit whenever I
don't let this British yellow bastard lie to you. First of all, Monty, I got some things to get off my chest about Monty and WrestlePurists. Monty is a WWE drone who he, for some reason all of Fed Twitter hates him. I don't know what he did to them, but he's a drone. He's just like them. And he recruited us to speak about AEW because he knew I was a draw and for some reason people follow Hangman, all stuff like that. But Monty hates AEW. All he does is shit on the product. All he does is hate the Elite. All he does is put over CM Punk. He's the only genuine Baron Corbin fan that I've ever met in my entire life. All he does is put over Baron Corbin. The shit is nasty. Now, I'm sorry, Monty, but Hangman's not here, bro. So you're going to have to take these heat segments. I'm exposing you. I'm exposing WrestlePurists for the racist organization that it is.
No, hold on. That's where pause.
WrestlePurists as a platform has kept me down for too long. And I feel like if I was a white man, I would be treated like that.
Oh man, lying on my name, lying on the brand that we're trying to be professionals, and we're getting these slanderous accusations against us. It's tough, man. It's tough to control this talent, but we do our best. We try to be professionals, and I'll never try to silence AO. Always let him get his shit off.
That's a lie. I still remember that week where you muted me mid rant for no reason.
Bro, this guy, yeah, he muted himself because he got too excited and blamed me.
I knew myself. I know what the fuck happened.
Anyway, we got a super chat. Of course, as always, like, subscribe, notifications, and of course, if you feel generous enough, send us super chats. Obviously, it helps out. We do have one now of Young Dende, the Draw African and Latin wrestlers. I don't even know what that's reference to, but
that's about
Swerve Our Glory versus Death Triangle was the biggest drawn quarter in Dynamite.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, yeah, that was dope,
big
bro.
numbers, man.
A black tag team
Big
versus
numbers.
a Mexican tag team, highest drawn AEW.
It was all throughout the show, pretty much. It was just a huge number, man. It was a big, it was big rating from obviously. We'll probably
drop below 1 million.
Bro, just a month or two ago, Monty was DMing me talking about all elite white people wrestling. There's no black people in there. This shit was crazy, bro. Monty kept adding me into group chats with Alfred Kunawa trying to with these all elite white people shit. It was nasty. I was like, bro, leave me alone. I don't even know who you are.
Yo, at least when you're dunking on Backup Hangman, it's he lays you up. you're just out here lying on my name, bro.
Someone's gotta get these segments, bro. I'm sorry.
But yeah, man, big rating. It was a big rating. We'll probably touch on it a bit later when we've got SA man here. It probably shouldn't be too long now, anyway.
I need everybody here to like this video and subscribe so it has a high like count before Hangman pulls up, so he knows that he's not a draw and nobody cares if he's here or not, and he's just irrelevant, basically. Because I feel like it's important. Like some people just need to be humbled, and he's one of them. Unlike me, the most humble nigga you know.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, since we're all massive Young Bucks fans here, we'll start with, they've kind of had a few, I'd say, to some people, quite scary rumors going around them in the past week or so. If you're a big AEW fan and you don't want the Young Bucks to even think about going anywhere else, but there has been some rumors. So the rumor, from what I can put together, anyone in the chat obviously pull me up if I say anything wrong, and of course any of you too, if you hear me fuck up, let me know. So it all kind of started about a few days ago, when Ryan Frederick, who is the MMA guy for Wrestling Observer, he posted in the Observer message board something about the Young Bucks putting out feelers to WWE. That, of course, opened a whole, shitstorm. There was a lot of Twitter discourse, and considering it was only from a message board post and not even like a report, like the way it took over Twitter was quite incredible, to be honest.
That's all it was. Because I was genuinely like really busy this week. I wasn't on Twitter much and shit, so I didn't even read the article that said
That's
Young Bucks and WWE or nothing. That's literally
yeah.
all it was.
It was
Yeah.
so it started off with the message board thing from Ryan Frederick on the Observer message board. Then Fightful Select kind of followed up on it, saying that one source swears to them that they asked to talk to somebody in WWE management, but also followed that by saying sources close to the books heard that they heard nothing of the sort, basically. But it was something that had been going around WWE for the past few weeks. So that was kind of like the first actual report on it, and it was just kind of Sean detailing kind of that he's heard the rumors, but it's just something unconfirmed. Then Dave Meltzer, of course, this part of the story really popped me because, as I just said, the original rumor report, whatever you want to call it, started on the Observer message board. Then when Dave and Brian were talking about it on Observer Radio, like 2 days later, Dave kind of acted oblivious to like where it came from. And he was like, it came from your guy. Like, what do you mean? And
I fucking
so yeah, Dave kind of followed that up by saying, you know, the books have denied it. Yeah, he said that the books are denying that it happened, but he won't say if it did or didn't happen, which I thought was a bit weird. And then he followed that up again. I think it was earlier on today in Observer Radio when he said that the person that apparently spoke to the books from WWE said there was no mention of getting in touch with anyone in management. So yeah, it kind of leaves a few questions. It's a bit weird. I thought it was weird for Dave to say that the books have denied it happening, but he won't say for sure if he knows if it happened or not.
Bro, the Bucks have Triple H's number. Why would they need to put out feelers?
Yeah, it's weird. They've surely still got his number as well, you know.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Even
2018, Triple H was calling them 5 times a day.
Yep.
And now they have to put out. Now they have to put out feelers. Nigga, send them a fucking text message. You want to go over there?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's, you know, apparently they had a really productive talks in 2018, and you know, if they didn't have the opportunity to actually, you know, legitimately like start a, you know, revolution, then probably would be in WWE now, getting paid pretty handsomely, to be honest. But that's kind of a weird thing about it. Like, why would they need a middleman when they've already dealt with Triple H in the past? There's a lot of weird things, like who would the middleman even be? Apparently, and, you know, like, did they actually want to talk to someone in management, and they're kind of just, you know, playing it safe now and kind of putting out the fire that's been going on Twitter the past few days. Would you like to see the Young Bucks in WWE, Charlotte?
No, not particularly.
Why not?
I think they've still got a lot they can do in AEW, especially with the partnerships with like New Japan and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they do go and they feel like that's best for them, then I guess that's what they're gonna do. But I don't want to see them go.
Yeah, I don't think it would be very weird, you know. Cody Rhodes is one thing. The Young Bucks would be just, you know, same with Omega, because obviously, you know, people kind of see them as a package deal, and it's like if Young Bucks want to go, Kenny wants to go. So that rumor's been flying around as well. So
if Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks want to destroy everything they built at AEW, if they want to just fucking pack up their bags and pull a fucking Cody Rhodes and leave and go to the fucking Fed after dunking on them for fucking 6 years, after getting famous, shitting on WWE, after making like fucking clothes parried in WWE, just making AEW fans hate WWE, all this shit, stoking the flame for half a decade. If they want to do all that shit, well, then I do too, nigga. I go where the elite goes. It's elite gang and don't bang, bro. You think I'm playing when I say that shit? Nigga, I'll be the most insufferable WWE fan if Kenny has that belt, bro.
Yo. You'd have to delete a lot of tweets as well, bro.
No, I wouldn't. I would just say cry.
Straight up switch up.
Bring up the tweet. I'll say cry, nigga. I don't care,
bro. Yeah. You wouldn't be the only one, funnily enough. I don't think.
Someone in the chat said AO counselor, WWE AO, Java Nation AO.
Yo,
Oh,
Israel's in the chat spitting as well.
Oh,
148
God.
viewers. They should have 148 likes. Make
That's
sure you're
so
liking the
fast.
video. Send in super chats again. Let's get to the super chats. Robbie's claiming he was called a slur. I'm gonna deny that. That definitely didn't happen.
Yo, I was there when Monty called Rob a slur.
What is going on? Parker, King Parker, says he loves the WrestlePurists
Hi, Parker.
podcast. We appreciate you. This
Shout
guy
out to
again.
Parker. And shout out
Hollywood
to the,
Hangman's personal assistant.
Shout out to the 5-Star Joshi podcast. Parker and his partner, whose name escapes me at this moment. Scott. Is it?
Yeah.
They do great work over there. Check out the 5-Star Joshi podcast.
Yeah, man. Good guys. Hollywood Hangman's personal assistant says 1 more week to go. Big AO, where can I send my resume? This guy wants to he wants to join your team, AO. I think
Jump ship, bro. Send me a DM on Twitter. I'm telling you, bro, I pay way better. I can't tell you
We
about
still
the
don't know who it is.
You said, what did you say, Charlie?
We still don't know who it is.
We gonna figure that out. We gonna figure that out.
Someone it's can't be someone too problematic. Hopefully not. Now, these
It's Alfred Kuhnel, bro.
Well, how have you name dropped him twice already?
That's your partner. Yo, if y'all didn't know, Alfred Kuhnel is a secret investor in WrestlePurists.
Oh
He's actually 51% owner of WrestlePurists.
51.
Majority owner. Mox is just the face.
Nasty.
It was originally Kuhnel
Bro,
Purists.
stop. Anyway, another super chat. My King 1984 thoughts on Velveteen Coke parties. I mean, Ayo, what's your thoughts on Velveteen versus EC3?
I mean, my thoughts on. Yo, I'm sorry, bro. Velveteen is a sick nigga. But am I the only one who believed him when he was telling that story? That sounded very believable, bro. The EC3 story.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds like he's telling the truth right now. He's obviously sick for other reasons, but yeah, I don't know. Athletes partying and having sex and doing coke is just what athletes do. It's not surprising or anything, but
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. Why would I believe EC3? He a Nazi? Like, who's we taking Nazi side or a pedophile side? I don't know, bro.
It's a tough choice, you know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you going with the Nazi, you going with the pedo.
Yeah, well, yeah. He's here, back up Hangman, the SA man.
Oh boy.
Number one enemy. He's here.
Is he here?
Yo, back up Hangman. What's good? We'll let it play out.
This is nasty.
It's Thursday night. You know what that means.
Yo, if you was real, you know what you would have came out to?
What would I have come out to?
Kingdom by Down Straight, bro.
No, that would have been nasty.
If you was real, you would have came out to Kingdom.
That would have been fucking filthy. What's going on, everybody?
Yo, make sure you tweet the link out and say that your bitch ass is pulled up.
Yeah, I'm about to do that.
He didn't even have to say it.
Get off the stage.
He was just cooking.
Oh my god.
Yo,
Can you see all these people pretending to not be excited that I'm here? Like, come on now. Like, what are we doing here?
Bro, we don't need you, bro. When you listen back to this podcast, the Monty Heat segments, bro, they low key better than the Hangman Heat segments. I was tearing down WrestlePurists as a brand, bro.
Really?
I was opening the
Crazy accusations, bro.
What I gotta deal with here?
What have I missed so far? What have you guys talked about?
We touched on the Young Bucks thing.
Quick timeout. Did you guys do the customary thing? It's Charlie's first podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, I did an impersonation of your voice. It was perfect. Everybody said that I nailed it. You're gonna hear it when you listen back.
I'll listen to it back. Did you give Charlie the old "How did you get into wrestling" bit?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I was gonna say don't mess up the tradition. All right, I'm gonna listen back.
Bro, did you know Charlie is a genuine
Look at this, bro.
Fan, bro?
If the elite go to WWE, me, Jobber Nation, Gareth Big Great.
That's not a fact, Chris. That's not a fact because I'm gonna be right there with you, bro. It's gonna be a big four. We'd be so nasty together, bro.
That's crazy.
Terrorizing Twitter.
I genuinely think Logan Paul and Kenny Omega could have a 4.5-star match.
I genuinely think that Prime Kenny Omega and Logan Paul in like 18 months could have a 5-star match.
Honestly, give Logan a week in the PC with Kenny. You know how Kenny's like a genius when it comes to like laying out matches spot for spot, right? Yeah. Like if you haven't seen the Golden Lovers documentary, like you saw him and freaking Ibushi just like going through like their double team spots together, like in the workouts and shit. Man, give him 2 weeks with Logan and like the PC, bro. They'll put together like one of the greatest matches in the history of WWE.
Actually, no. What am I saying, bro? 18 months in prime Kenny Omega. He just had a 4-star match with the Miz, bro, and the Miz was not leading him. Like Logan was doing his own thing. Like, what am I saying, bro? Like no, Logan. Kenny today with fucking Logan today, bro. Give him a week or two. They'll figure something out. 5 stars.
Honestly. Throw them in right now as we speak. Called in the ring. That's just 4.25.
Oh, fuck you.
Call us in the ring, niggas. 4.25. Oh man. So what topics have you guys talked about? You said you talked about the Bucks, right?
Bucks.
Yeah, we touched on the Bucks a little bit, and we got a super chat about Velveteen Dream. So
and so you guys talked about that whole.
We was getting to it. Yeah.
I just said what I said about the Dream situation was it's basically a pedo versus a Nazi. So like whose side you want to take?
Pretty crazy.
But listening to Velveteen Dream's account of the events, bro, it sounds very believable.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know if this comes off bad. It seemed like a very plausible scenario.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
A bunch of NXT wrestlers are just at a party.
Like I walk around with my phone in my hand open all the time. My camera accidentally turns on and shit. Yeah. Now my camera turns on, but it like goes to the camera. The camera's not actually recording anything though, right? Mm-hmm. And then say that happened to me, and I sit it down and take a piss. Now everybody's like, "Oh, hey, trying to record." People like, "No, bro. Like I just have my phone in my hand. I set my camera down."
It was crazy because when I watched his IG live video, one of my main thoughts were like, "Damn, I hate that this guy is still like really funny." Because like that video was really funny. This man was like, well, he's a tell the whole story, EC3. What was on the table,
EC3.
Yo, when he was super going back and forth between calling him EC3 and Mike had me crying.
This man was like,
bro, he said, sorry, young man, but at one point he said, bro, imagine Velveteen Dream telling you to get your life together, bro.
That was like, you've been arrested like 3 times in the last like 2 months. Like, what the hell? He got arrested at the gym, I think a month ago for like punching like someone at the gym.
He beat him.
Yeah, and he got busted for like cocaine possession like in the same month.
Young Patrick Clark is spiraling right now.
And the ironic and hilarious thing, and I mean maybe morbidly hilarious, is the fact that he's a clear mess and he's telling a guy to get his life together, and the guy he's telling his life is kind of
I was like, yo, he's trying to get his life together, bro.
That guy, he's talking to a guy that runs CYN, bro. Like it's we're
all his partners left him. Who did he start CYN with? Braun, he's gone. Cross, he's gone. Who else was there?
One of the Forgotten Sons, I think, Weston Blake, I believe, is there.
He's still there, I think.
He was at Charlie who said, "Yikes!"
Yeah.
The funny thing is, when CYN canceled their tour dates, someone tweeted like, "What's going to happen?" And I quote tweeted it, and I said like, "Hunter Hearst Helmsley is going to sign Braun Strowman and Karrion Kross," and people thought I was joking, but like that was genuinely what I was told. Like when Triple H got power, like within 3 days, I got listed. I got handed so many names and stuff, and so I knew it was only a matter of time between the pieces falling into place. And I remember when I made that tweet, someone DM'd me like, "What about EC3? Is he coming?" And I was like, "No," and he was like, "Why? Is it because he doesn't want to go?" And I said, "No, they don't want him." So yeah, it's
Hollywood Hangman, Adam Pierce. I have a question for you. Actually, I have a question for everybody on the WrestlePurists podcast. Hey, Ibu, Monty, Charlie. If I went to a gym, right, and took out 20 white guys, 5'10" we'll say 5'9" to 6'1",
okay,
shaggy hair, some facial hair, and then threw Weston Blake in that lineup, would you be able to pick him out of that lineup?
No.
Mozzie?
I'll try.
Charlie? I genuinely have no clue what this dude looks like, bro.
Like, you remember when Israel said she could? Remember when Israel said she couldn't pick out what was it? The Bunny versus Penelope Ford. This is like to the 17th degree. Like he's just he's the ultimate definition of like just a guy. You know, I remember when CYN pulled up on the last Ring of Honor show before the rebrand. And he was there. It was EC3, Braun Strowman, Weston Blake, and someone else. And I remember, like, I was staring at the guy, and I for the life of me, he looked faintly familiar, but I couldn't figure out who it was.
Nigga, those are just 3 white people to me in that
picture. That's what I'm saying.
those are just 3 white people with CYN on their shirts.
That's the thing, man.
Yo, Weston Blake is so, like, inconsequential.
Nondescript.
And nondescript that, like, Steve Macklin, bro.
Oh,
like, what was his name in WWE?
I don't know.
He's basically The Rock compared to that nigga.
Oh my god, that's another one. When I watched it, $15 super chat from Tony L. I hope everyone's doing good. Do you think Hangman Page is one of the top stars in AEW?
Absolutely.
Yeah, almost by default. But I mean, surely just because of the company's history, he's one of the top guys. Thank you for the super chat. Listen, man.
And one of my favorite wrestlers ever, honestly.
Hangman's great.
He's only like 30 years old and one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's 30 years old. I was gonna say, bro, fucking when I watched Steve Macklin in Impact, like I was like, I did not recognize him. Like I was looking at him for the longest time, and I was like, I don't like this guy was in WWE.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly.
He's another one of the Forgotten Sons. I'm pretty sure.
$5 super chat. Well, y'all think MJF getting engaged means he signed a new deal? A lot of people have been throwing that theory out. I want someone to explain me this whole theory of like engagement
correlation
equals contract.
I mean, it happens a lot when like people have like a life-changing event and they're like, well, might as well get married now. You know what I mean? Like I won the Super Bowl. I graduated med school. I graduated college, won the national championship, whatever. It's just like, well, what do I do now? I get married. So what would you do? So people are thinking, oh, we just went from $300,000 a year to $3 million a year. So might as well get married. That's what people are thinking. But I don't think there's any correlation. I do think that he re-signed though with the amount of TV time he's getting.
I just want to say that I boosted the live viewership by about, if my math is correct, 55 viewers.
This nigga is such a mark, bro.
Yeah, but so I want everybody in the chat to just sing me my praises for blessing this.
Got a question for you.
Oh, do we?
I'm not going to let you get that 55 off because we was at like 150 something.
Nah, I came in. It was 120. Hanger Select, is WWE going for Lio Rush? Yes, he's coming. He was. What can I say on this? He was planned for a certain debut at a certain place that they changed, and now here's the speculation part. I think they're going to put him in the rebranded NXT. But he is coming. I don't know where it's going to be. And my guess at this point is the rebranded NXT.
I can see that.
Yes.
Would that be a good use of his talents as opposed to the main roster?
He's 26. You know, I could see that.
26, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? He's only 26 years old.
He's been around forever.
Oh, wow.
He started wrestling pretty much straight out of high school, and It's crazy because, I mean, you could really throw him anywhere, to be honest with you. But I could see the thinking, which is we want to reestablish NXT as this work rate brand and all that other stuff. And right now, the directive is to fill that brand back up with as many really good workers as possible. It's why, spoiler alert, Ilya Dragunov is coming. It's funny, Charlie. It's almost like it feels like a bit on you. It feels like they're forcing you to watch Braun Breaker matches by putting him against talented beans and toast men. You know, it's like you're trying to ignore him, and then like, no, we're gonna make him fight Tyler Bate.
Yo, Ilya Dragunov is so fucking good, bro. I'm such a fan.
Yeah,
he's a monster.
He's good enough to drag Braun Breaker to like at least 1 3/4 stars.
This is crazy.
At least 1 3/4.
We got to stop this bit.
There's always a cut.
it's not a bit.
Right.
It's not
not a bit.
We have
Braun
to
Breaker
stop.
is not him.
He is
He's
so
not.
him. It's not even funny.
The sooner you accept it, the sooner.
There's
He's
nothing
like
to
5'2".
accept.
He's not 5'6" or 5'2", whatever you said.
He's like 4'11".
This is
being honest.
Yeah, Charlie, as I said in the Twitter space, she's partial to the Beans and Toast men, and so you know, is there one Beans and Toast wrestler you can admit is not him?
I feel like she shits on some indie guys a lot.
Oh yeah, the heart.
Give it someone who's not an indie guy, and not
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Sabian's too easy.
I mean, as much as I was like on the timeline saying about Kip Sabian's not that good.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, like, it's weird. He's not outright overtly garbage, but like he's very just like okay, you know, he's very normal. Yeah. Even though his new gear is pretty nice.
He's got a good gimmick. Yeah. I like his gimmick.
What is he?
Yo, you know what I said in the chat? It's all aesthetic, to be honest. I don't know what any of it means. I don't know what it's about at all. But it looks cool. You know, it looks
Kip is
nice.
someone who I want to succeed. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of his, but like, I want him to do well. I want to like Kip, bro.
Yeah.
He's so fucking ass, bro. He was so like, bro, you're putting this big spot. It's all out. Like, it's a pre-show or whatever. AEW treats the pre-shows very seriously, right?
Yeah.
Very seriously. So it's a huge spot. Pre-show, all out, big spot. It's one of the best wrestlers alive. Packed. Bro, you're blown up in like 5 minutes. Come on, bro. Like,
you know what's funny, Monty? That Kip Sabian versus Pac match, I liken it to, I don't even remember who the opponents were, but QT Marshall and a tag partner faced two guys, I think, in the pre-show of Forbidden Door, and those matches are the exact same. I mean, here's what I mean. Both matches were pre-show matches for an AEW pay-per-view that people want to be excited about, right? And so, you know, you go into the show, goodwill, good vibes. You're just trying to be excited. And so, like, the first instinct is to like lie about the quality of a match. And so I remember when the QT match happened, I remember seeing Manny, our very own WrestlePurists Manny, on the timeline, like, yo, QT Loki hooping right now. And like, it was literally like the most aggressively 2-star match like happening. And the Kip Sabian thing is the same thing, because Kip Sabian is having a very standard match with Pac. Pac himself was phoning it in. It was like a 9-to-5 job for him. Like, he did not care. And they're wrestling. And I remember, and people were like, yeah, man, Kip's looking pretty good. And I was like, how?
Absolutely not, bro.
What is he doing?
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of All In, Christopher Daniels versus the Green Arrow, right? Who has redeemed himself since, but he was so blown up, and Christopher Daniels was like carrying him around the ring, like putting him in spots, doing everything for him.
That Rich Swann Kenny Omega shit.
Because he couldn't do anything. That's literally what was going on with Kip. I was like, Kip, bro, you're like 25 years old. I Google Kip. Do you know how old Kip is?
He's 25?
That nigga is 30, bro. He'll lose it. He never gonna get better. Do not resign this nigga. Cut him.
My God.
Cut him, bro.
Didn't he get re-signed? I'm pretty sure he got re-signed.
Nasty. I think Penelope did, and people assumed by default that Kip did.
I'm pretty sure. Oh man, this is is that a Euro signal? Okay. Emin Reznov, love the show. Desperado and Sakai had a match of the year contender with the best post-match promo of the year. Let it be known. He's referring to Jun Kasai versus El Desperado, which happened at JTO.
I still have to watch that match.
I want to get right into it. I want to get right into it real quick. Monty, did you see it?
I haven't. I'm watching it tomorrow.
You're all fucking frauds. So here's the deal. I won't go too into details, but I'll say this. For those who don't know, Jun Kasai is at this point a borderline legendary deathmatch figure in Japanese wrestling.
I'll say
And
he's a legend at this point.
Rob's joined us.
Yeah. Thank you for joining, Rob. So Kasai is a legendary figure in deathmatch wrestling. He's been at this now since like the late 90s. And JTO is just Tap Out. It's Taka Michinoku's promotion. And, Despy was granted the, he was basically granted the ability to go wrestle over there. And he had this match with Kasai because Kasai is like he basically looks up to him, right? And so this match was fascinating for me because it was Despy in a very different setting. Like Despy is very much a junior heavyweight division regular in New Japan, and we've seen him have these like epic matches in Japan. In that division, he's even branched out. Like he had that great match last year with Ibushi, I remember at Dontaku, and either last year or this year, I'm forgetting when, but he had a really good match at Okada. But when I think of Despy, El Desperado as a wrestler in general, it's weird because I feel like he is good, but like he's not one of those blowaway guys that I jump and name when I think of great wrestlers in Japan. Because listen,
when I think of junior heavyweights, one of the first people I think of is Despy. I think it's Despy. I think
I always kind of, I think what it is like he's not the blowaway athlete like a Dragon Lee is, or like a Hiromu Takahashi, for example, right?
Yeah.
And in his I don't think he's quite as good technically or when it comes to striking like Kushida. And so because of those reasons, like Despy, he's not one of those jump out the page athletes, right? And also I kind of had this internal perception of him as a guy who he's great with great wrestlers, but when he's in there with like people who are just okay, he's fine. That's like my personal perception of Despy. And I think the coolest thing about the JTO match he had with Kasai is it's one of those big examples that sometimes we don't really know truly how good some of these wrestlers are until you see them in different settings where they can show different aspects of themselves. We commonly talk about this with WWE wrestlers because, they have to wrestle in such a formatted system where they're very much put in a box, right? And so you see so many guys show so much of their ability when they leave WWE, right? But like that really does apply to a lot of other places because a lot of other promotions do have house styles and systems and formats and formulas that they go about. Not really AEW because there's so much variety there, but like New Japan, there's very much a regimented way that they do things, right? And so when I saw Despy in this setting where he's basically just having like a chaotic, psychotic death match, it's almost like he's venturing into a foreign landscape and trying to figure out how to survive in it as much as possible. And it's crazy. It's a culture shock because he gets his mask ripped off early in the match, right? And it adds such an interesting visceral element to the match because we don't really see Despy's face normally, and facials are so important in wrestling sometimes. And this guy, yes, facials are very important.
Also, cut the essay short, little bro. Cut the essay short, little bro.
I'm only going over this because no one else has seen the match before we move on.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just saying.
The bottom line is this:
be careful.
Despy with the contact lenses, just making the crazy facial expressions while bleeding, it added so much to this match because his entire face, the entire time was like, I don't know what I got myself into, but I got to figure it out. And so it was a tremendous story. They took a bunch of sick bumps, but there was very much a very easy to follow narrative with the match. So much so that like even if you're not super familiar with the performers involved, I think you'd be able to figure out like what the story that they were telling, which is a kudos to them. So if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It's on Daily Motion. JTO, El Desperado versus Jun Kasai. Beautiful match, very violent, very exciting. I'm really into it, even though I'm not a big deathmatch guy. And the post match was really, really heartfelt. So good stuff there.
Dave Meltzer said it was everything he hates about wrestling, but done very well.
Are you a deathmatch person, Charlie?
I like deathmatches, yeah.
Do you? Oh, okay. You don't get squeamish when people like bleed excessively or get cut. No. Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So my thing with deathmatches is right. Yeah. I'm not a squeamish person at all. I don't like the recital blood is not offending me or anything like that. But I just think it's so fucking stupid when like promotions like GCW is like, yo, we're gonna cut each other with knives. Why? Yeah. Oh, because just for the sport of it, bro. Like, there's no story, when there's nothing behind it or anything. It's so stupid, bro. Like, I think the Cardona story that GCW told that was awesome, right? because it was like the squeaky clean, like loser ass ex WWE guy that can't do anything except for like just being the bright lights of the Fed. Like now I'm gonna go to this like grungy ass bingo hall in Atlantic City. I'm gonna do this death match. That was amazing, right?
No,
but like shit like the Hoodfoot situation, bro. Like I'm not saying anything about Hoodfoot. Like, but that cut that he got on his arm, I'm just like, bro, like what is this for? Like, this shit is just
know what it is? You know what it is, AO? To me, hardcore stipulations in kayfabe, it's supposed to be I hate you so much in kayfabe. I hate you so much that I want to mutilate you in a wrestling match. And we are allowed to, within the boundaries of this match, with the rule set, I'm now allowed to legally get away with mutilating you. And so when they just have it to have it, personally, generally, I feel like a Neanderthal for watching it.
Dead ass, bro. I can't watch that shit. He's like, why are we having this match? Because it's Saturday, bro, and that's the day that we run shows.
So when they'll take like light tubes and just go doom, doom, and they're just hitting each other, it's like it's funny and it's shocking, but like it just was kind of dumb. But again, certain people can pull it off. I think when you're the type of performer that like you know how to work even outside of the deathmatch setting, those are the people surprisingly that like to me end up being the best deathmatch wrestlers. Like there's certain guys that it's like they can't hack it, they can't really wrestle or work, and so they're like, I'm gonna just be crazy and take crazy bumps and make it as a deathmatch wrestler. Yeah, some people can figure it out, but other people do that and they're not really that good, right? Guys who like know how to wrestle and understand just how to work and a handle on psychology, they can make a deathmatch work because they're having a wrestling match with weapons. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's why Kenny Omega, even though that's not his forte, whenever he ventures into that type of match, he makes it work.
Awesome.
You know, the exploding barbed wire match.
Yeah.
He wasn't gory or anything like that, but it was really well done until you know after the bell. But you know that's after the bell. That's not on Kenny.
Yeah, Mick Foley made it work because he's super sympathetic. He's very sympathetic because of his stature, his build. He's not like the big jacked up like athlete guy. Yeah. He's just, you know what I mean. And so like you feel bad for him when he gets like clocked in the head with a chair because like
what did this fat old guy get himself into, bro? Like,
you're watching Mick get clocked and you feel so bad for him. It's and like go ahead, Rob.
It's like I always say, bro, like with these death matches versus like the regular ones versus like guys like in GCW.
Yo, why is bro in here?
Yeah, I don't know.
Watch out.
I actually don't know.
No, get this going, bro.
He really snuck in.
He slipped in here, bro.
Don't worry about it. I was bored. I wasn't doing it, so I was like, let me just hop away. No, but it's like, you kick me out, bro. No, but it's like with GCW, bro. It's like when you see all these death matches, you see all these guys doing like these needles through the cheek, and it's like, but there's no storyline purpose. There's no reasoning to it. It's like, it's just, I don't know.
You know, so here's the thing about the Jun Kasai match, right? What I would argue is the difference between that and like a mindless like bloodbath is the story is Despy is venturing into a setting that he doesn't normally do. And it takes a lot of guts to do it. And he's almost trying to figure out himself, can I make it against this guy who this is like it's his playground. You know what I mean?
Despy used to be a deathmatch wrestler, right?
I'm actually not sure, but what I can tell you is that within the match, it was very much portrayed as like I'm the clean New Japan guy, right? And he's not. And that was definitely the narrative because Despy's just trying to beat him with wrestling, and Kasai's like, I'm gonna take a butcher knife, you know, and like he'd be like, all right, side Russian leg sweep, and then Kasai's like barbed wire ladder, you know. So it was very fascinating to watch. And like I said, it was just really well done. Foley was great at it. Terry Funk was great at the death matches. Onita historically was great at the death matches. Kenny Omega, like I said, for a modern example. John Moxley, man. John Moxley, he gets labeled as a death match wrestler, and I guess he is kind of, but like he can wrestle. You know what I mean? Mox can just wrestle. So that's kind of my thought on that one.
Jericho made that shit work with Nick Gage on Dynamite, bro.
That shit was fucking awesome.
He made it work.
I didn't use Jericho versus Nick Gage for a reason because because when AEW does it, then it's awesome. No, like that was awesome. But no, like the shit that GCW did with Cardona was awesome as well because there was a story.
I gotta be honest.
It was awesome because it was a fucking story.
Pretty,
and nobody thought that Jericho was actually gonna go like through with this shit. Like fucking
yeah. I think that was the pop for me, to be honest. It's not like it was like a great match or anything. It was just like, what is Jericho doing?
Yeah, it's like, yo, why are you doing this, bro? You are a made man. People of influence in this industry think you're the greatest to ever have done this shit. Like, you are 50 years old. Why are you doing this shit, Jericho?
The funny thing to me is like, number one, when notable AEW wrestlers do it, it just feels like they're trying to prove a point. Like it's like they're trying to show that they're not soft. You know, like when Kane did that Full Gear with Moxley in 2019, it definitely felt like that. Because if you guys go back to like the promos building up to that match, even when it was supposed to be at All Out, Mox was talking about how like, you know, Kenny, you're known as the guy who has these beautiful, graceful matches in Japan that are so effortless and so beautiful. He's like, I just beat people up, you know. So and so it almost felt like he was basically, you know, calling him a wimp. And so it was almost like Kenny had to show that, like, no, he actually has balls. When I think about it, most AEW death matches, if not all of them, are pretty damn good, actually. So
well, they've got a lot of good wrestlers, so
yeah, exactly.
Plus, they've had a little bit of a story. That's the main thing with death matches nowadays. Like none of the shits that like in ICW should have stories.
Texas, Lance Archer has 2 Texas death matches in AEW. One against Moxley and one against Hangman.
Both fucking guys.
They're both awesome.
Both fucking guys, bro. I especially love the Mox match, bro.
Yeah.
How they had him beat Mox without like pinning him and shit.
Yeah.
Archer's great in like chaos. You know?
Yeah.
He really shines in that. I think it's almost an underrated aspect of his game because he's just a fucking, you know, he's like nearly 7 foot big
Monty,
man.
You know,
I'm
gonna make a public pitch. Tony Khan, if you're listening, when you're listening, if you get this message, let's get a Texas death match between Lance Archer and Brody King at some point.
Good. That would be.
We've seen
Brody gonna take the blade and go too deep again.
Listen, we've seen monster versus normal sized man. Let's get 2 monsters who know how to move. You know, Brody and Archer, and let them kill each other.
Got a couple more super chats. Keep them coming in, people. You know, we always appreciate it very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Charlie, read that one out.
Oh shit! Shout out to Suplex.
Yeah, man. Tyler, thank you for the super chat. Go ahead, Charlie.
My sources told me Tony Khan is shaking and crying upon hearing the Friday night draw. Logan Paul is back. Also, get Hangman's goofy ass off the panel.
Yo, Logan Paul's back.
You guys didn't hear it? So Logan Paul was he has a podcast, Impulsive, and he invited Roman Reigns on, who was on last night.
I didn't hear about that, but I didn't see any clips.
Yeah. And they had a conversation, and they may or may not have shot an angle. And so on Twitter, Roman Reigns basically, you know, to summarize, he basically said, Paul Heyman, take care of this guy, Logan Paul. And so Paul Heyman was like, well, he's been handled, my tribal chief. And Logan Paul was like, how are you going to handle me? Which was weirdly flirtatious, but
it was if anyone who actually watched the Impulsive interview, it's like they do the interview and it's all like cool and everyone, you know, it's not like a juicy shoot interview or anything. But, you know, it's just that's pretty much what it is. And
really good.
And obviously, you know, then Roman obviously leaves and it's just like, you know, like Logan and his boys, and he's talking about like, you know, when I speak to Roman, I get really fired up, and you know, he brings out that dog in me. And he's like, I think I could wrestle him. And he's like, I think if we wrestled, I'd win. You know, like it's real.
So Logan is like, how are you gonna handle me, Paul? Which is again weirdly flirtatious. And then Triple H basically was like, hey, let's do it on Friday. And then he was just like, all right, I'll be there. So yeah, it seems like we're getting the bloodline and Logan Paul on Friday. And I was laughing.
So what are they actually gonna do? Because it's not gonna be Roman Reigns versus Logan. It's not gonna be Solo Sikoa where he's too green. Main event Jey Uso.
Oh my god,
Jey Uso.
Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn would be hilarious.
Sammy's like, hold on, my dog. You're not gonna do that because this is my trouble. And what we can do, dog, is box if you'd like or something.
Oh my god,
it'll be funny. You know what's funny about this, guys? When Logan had that match against Miz, like people were joking about like, yo, he should fight Roman. Like he should beat Roman and win the title. and like it was people were memeing, and like and now we're like trending in this direction, and it's hilarious. So, you know, why not? Why not? Who's opposed to this, really? You know.
I mean, I'm not gonna watch it, so
Go ahead, Charlie.
Go ahead and go crazy.
We have a super chat.
BPJ Deathmatch, Lysol lemon spray to the eyes.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Brian Pillman Jr.
Brian Pillman Jr. Okay. I was like, I don't know what BPJ.
What promotion's that?
Oh, cry. Yo, Pillman Jr., bro. Little bro. I know you're listening. That custodian gimmick could get over huge, my nigga.
Oh my god.
That double lifer shit's coming back. You've seen that pop for Luigi.
We got some attacks on Bret Hart.
Lucha Bros better than the Bret Merchants FTR. Toxic
that's
Spider.
That's a fact.
Toxic Spider, thank you
you,
for the super chat donation. Do I agree with your tweet? Your message. I don't really, but thank you for the super chat.
In every single way.
Yeah.
All right, so you let me know. Which one? Who is Cash Wheeler a better wrestler than? Penta or Ray Phoenix? Which one, man? Let me know. I'm on air right now. Which one? Are you saying he's better than Penta? Are you saying he's better than Phoenix? Or are you saying he's better than both?
Listen, sometimes
No.
Wait, we about to do that. We about to do that soliloquy bullshit, nigga.
Listen, Cash is a very solid wrestler who
is he better than Penta? Is he better than Phoenix, or is he better
Cash
than
is a
both?
great wrestler. So what are we doing?
So answer the question. I know you can answer the question too. Is Cash better than Penta? Is he better than Phoenix, or is he better than both?
my response
As a singles, I wouldn't say he's better than either Penta or Phoenix.
So as a wrestler, you don't think he's better than either? Okay.
As a singles,
as a wrestler, right? Because that's what wrestling is.
He's part of a tag, man. I think Cash is a tremendous tag wrestler. Like the way he can take heat and shit. He's
Cash, bro. And this is really not part of my FTR bit. Because y'all know how much I fucking hate Dags. But Dags can wrestle his ass off, unfortunately. But Cash, bro, I genuinely don't see what any of y'all.
You know what it is, AO. So here's the thing. I think they're a great tag team. I think only one of them knows how to wrestle singles matches, and that's Dax. And we saw that when Cash had that match with what's my man's name? What's my man's name? Tour of the Islands. Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, the match with Cobb was stinky, bro. Cobb was doing his fucking TV debut.
It was kind of symbolic. None of the Mox.
No, that wasn't his TV debut. He was in AEW before. But.
Yeah, Jeff Cobb's TV debut was against John Moxley in 2020. Yeah. But yeah, Jeff Cobb versus Cash was kind of ass. And ironically, based on this conversation, that same Dynamite, if you guys remember, that same Dynamite had Ray Phoenix versus Andrade, and that was awesome.
That shit was.
I thought that was on Rampage.
Yeah, it was.
It was the same night.
Yeah.
Leading up to Forbidden Door and shit.
But yeah, Cash, look, man, some people they are the sum of their parts and they know how to do tag matches, but they're not great in singles matches. Right. And I think that's the case with Cash. As a singles wrestler, he's nowhere near the level of Penta or Phoenix. But that's not to discredit him as a performer. I think FTR are a great team, and it's a bit unfortunate. It's a bit unfortunate.
I have information out.
Charlie's
bro. Not the information.
You know what's funny?
You don't have shit, bro.
Charlie, I have information. Wait. Dax Harwood.
Hold on. I'm about to get on Charlie. You know what's funny, Charlie? You're yawning, right? You're yawning. You know who else was yawning? 200,000 people nationwide. When the United Empire came on Dynamite to wrestle. Yeah, I went there. And they're
still going to beat your boys for the titles.
Lucha Bros, I don't matter.
I don't know what you're crying about. Like
they're defending the IWGP tag titles against them, right?
Yeah. And they're going to win. I don't know what to tell you, man.
When's that match happening? I need to watch that live with Charlie.
1st of October. Mate, I'm going to be at the show.
Oh my god.
Joe's going to be there.
Yeah.
Oh my
our friend Joe's going to be there as well. So
stream live.
It's not Progress. It's New Japan.
Oh.
I don't know if it's
is it a
thought it was pro.
It's a Royal Quest.
Yo, Progress can't afford these people anymore.
Progress definitely can afford it. They just
because Aussie Open just got announced for a Progress date, so that's why I was getting my wires crossed.
2 Progress shows, and then they've got the 2 New Japan shows the following weekend.
I'll tell you what, Charlie. If it is a show that doesn't get streamed live, we'll know who won based on your energy in the group chats afterward. You know.
Oh yeah.
New Japan streams everything live now, so we're going.
Yeah.
You guys
That match is going to be crazy as well, man.
I might bully Charlie. I might bully.
Yo, what are we gonna do?
Wait, what do you say?
When Aussie Open shows they're a better tag team than FTR, what are we gonna do? I didn't even know.
It's not gonna happen. Objectively, the match
It is going to happen
The
because
match is going to be crazy.
It's gonna be
either way.
crazy.
It's going to happen.
You know what's gonna be funny?
Mark Davis is better than Dax Harwood.
Oh God!
They both have glorious. They both have glorious mustaches. I'll give them that. They both have glorious mustaches. You know,
can Cash Wheeler do that? Kyle Fletcher can't.
Yo, Dax Harwood, I got dirt on you, doggy. Where's the camera?
Oh God,
I got information I'll lead to your arrest, Dax.
Oh God, little bro.
I can't take this Dax Landy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
He's too good of a professional wrestler, bro.
He's going to be a shitty person on Twitter then. All
he does is tweet sarcastic little shots.
Looks like we missed the video.
You act like his Drake works or some shit.
He's worse than Drake, bro. He's worse than
Drake.
Oh God, he's worse than Drake.
If you were to believe wrestling Twitter, you would think it's like Saddam Hussein, Osama bin Laden, Velveteen Dream, Dax Harwood. It's like
no. Okay, let's proceed. Nobody actually thinks that. Nobody actually thinks that Dax is on the same level as Hitler, Saddam, Velveteen Dream. Everybody knows he's worse than all three of them combined.
This is the same guy that claims that he gets silenced, bro, and he's on here just saying this. We should kick him out of here, bro.
That's the primary reason we don't get wrestler interviews. Like
that's not a fact. Don't put that out there either. That's not a fact.
Wrestlers be afraid of AO, bro. I'm like, you want to hop on WrestlePurists podcast? I'm like, is that scary guy gonna be there?
AO gonna talk to you? No,
is AO gonna come? Yeah, he's like, the people want to know if they're gonna get compared to terrorists and shit, bro.
Yo, Dax Harwood, I'm about to extort you for $100,000, my nigga. The information is gonna leak unless you PayPal me.
Yeah. Anyway, Young Dende, $2. AO hates Dax the way I hate Dominic Mysterio.
You know what's the difference? You know what's the difference? Dominic is actually really bad. Like he's really bad,
bro.
Chill out, bro.
Bro, this is your boy.
Chill out.
Yo, I love like second, like, cause I'm a huge Rey Mysterio fan, bro. And I love like second generation anything, like in TV shows, in anime, in wrestling, in sports. Second generation, like taking the mantle, that shit is so cool to me, bro. Dom Mysterio's coming up. I'm like, yo, he's getting trained by who? Yo, he's 6 feet tall. This is crazy. 3 years later, this nigga's a fucking bomb.
Oh my God, please stop.
You know the crazy thing about it,
he's
man?
a fucking bomb.
Triple H, these last 5 straight Raws were doing like around 2 million in the ratings, and you could tell he was feeling himself, right? He was like, oh man, everyone's liking my show now. 2 million people are tuning in. I'm on fire. I'm gonna book Edge and Dominic for a 30-minute main event this week.
Yo, Edge and Dominic went 30 minutes?
It took up 30 minutes of TV time. If you count entrances and post-match, it's 30 minutes of TV, right? And I think he thought I'm playing with house money, and it's the definition of having way too much dip on your chip. He was feeling himself. He was like, yo, they just like my show right now. Like y'all really like Raw, right? And then Dominic came on against Edge, and people were like, not that much, bro. So
you that much low, bro.
Yeah, that was insane.
Dave tried to pretend it was like this great Raw main event with a story and everything.
Yo, Dave is nasty. What is Edge paying him nowadays, bro?
I don't know if you heard. This man was like, he was like, it's not like an amazing match or anything, but just the way Edge worked, it was so professional, and just the storytelling, it was just so.
He tried.
Dave always been on Edge head, or is that? Just
I guess so. I guess so because when Edge was coming back, every week Dave was like, Edge is just a genius. Like he's just a genius when it comes to laying out matches. Every week he was saying that. Like he's just a genius. So
Dave was on that trying to. Dave was on that bitch trying his best to make that motherfucker look vicious.
The custodian, $2 super chat.
Yo, shout out to Brian Pillman Jr., the custodian. Bro.
Oh,
God.
Thank you for the $2, bro. Especially since that all
This is
rechecks
nasty.
not gonna be coming around
Need you
longer.
to clean the studio when we leave.
So yeah, I mean, I think we'd all agree that Dominic is not developing the way that anybody would have hoped. But speaking of developmental, though, WWE's developmental is undergoing changes that I reported on Twitter and on the WrestlePurists podcast 2 months ago. So I would actually genuinely like a round of applause on the pod because this is my first.
You ain't gonna get it.
All right, man. Everybody get this bum ass nigga his tomatoes in the chat. Everybody in the chat,
give his tomatoes.
This is my first genuine major public scoop that no one else was on top of except me, and it's coming into fruition now. I told everybody that there was going to be a Peacock special before it was announced. I said that it was going to be against NXT UK, which was before anything happened on TV. Boo this man. All right, Alexia, whatever. That's why you ran for the grind today. You know?
Shout out to Alexia.
Yeah, shout out to Alexia. Like, this nigga is sitting here talking about this. Like, you want a fucking parade? Like, all right, nigga, you called it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't called. I knew I had the scoop, and I told people. They did the Peacock special. They unified the brands, and NXT 3.0 is going to be...
Peach.
Man, these tomatoes, man. You know what?
Yeah. Let me pull back the WrestlePurists curtain real fast. Let me tell you all about this man, Ibu, bro.
Oh, boy.
So this man, so Ibu did give us the scoop months ago, right? That this is all gonna happen on NXT. And then when he was proven right, he was sending all the tweets into the WrestlePurists group chat, and we were all ignoring him. We were no-sounding. We were like, bro, we do not care. Like, you gonna tell us this man, Ibu, bro. This Hangman, I keep saying your government, my fault, bro.
Yeah,
Hangman just started crying. It was like, you niggas don't appreciate shit out of me, y'all. You think I won't tell this nigga?
This is not gonna happen at all.
I'm telling this nigga right now. Public enemies, by the way. I'm about to go public enemies. I'm out of here, bro.
I did not say to go to public enemies.
I hate you fake ass niggas. I was like, bro, we just kidding, bro. Like, it's not that serious. My nigga, like,
I will tell you.
He's like, no, I'm tired of this shit. Fuck you, nigga. He started
playing
crying, bro. Bro, he's like, we couldn't tell what he was writing anymore. He's like, bro, like, what are you even typing at this point? He's like, I'm sorry. He called Monty to tell us. He's like, I'm sorry, but there's so many tears on my keyboard that I can't even type anymore because my phone doesn't work underwater. Crybaby ass nigga, bro.
I do so much. I get all these. Okay.
Grown ass man, 35 years old.
Damn.
This didn't happen.
This did happen. It happened.
This didn't happen. But
I was there.
What did happen is, at the end of NXT this week, we had
he said that Hangman is just like his idol. Damn, that's crazy. Facts.
Successful, handsome, and a lot of money in my bank account. Yes, absolutely.
Yo, shit, bro. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Anyways, what did happen was at the end of NXT this week, we had a video package from Shawn Michaels, and he was talking about how, well, it wasn't from Shawn, like Shawn's voice was talking in the video, and he basically said that NXT is ever evolving. And at the end of the package, we got the logo of NXT 2.0, and the 2.0 was removed from the logo, and the logo went from rainbow splatter to gold. So, I can tell you guys some extra scoops here. So on October, I want to say 6th, is the first episode of this new NXT. And I said this on Twitter last week, but just for those who don't know, the directive from Paul Levesque has been get people who know how to wrestle primarily on TV. Prioritize good matches because the green people are green and they need work. And so that work should be done off screen. He very much is not a believer in this whole
October 4th, by the way.
Yeah, did I mess up the October? It was the first show of October. There you go. The point is, he's not of this philosophy of 2 months training, throw him on TV. And if you followed NXT, you would know that because Monty, remember, he would keep people in the PC for years before they made it to TV.
Just how it should have always been, bro. I don't understand how anybody thought that this would work.
Well, throwing super green wrestlers on TV, right?
Yeah, bro. They were not giving these people a chance. They did not give B-Fab an honest chance. They did not give what's his face, even though he still stinks in the Trustbusters. Parker Boudreaux. They did not give Parker Boudreaux an honest chance. he still stinks to this day, but still, they didn't give him a real chance.
Charlie,
A lot of people, they haven't given Lash Legend a real chance. Like, you see how internet fans fucking hate her. They threw her on TV green as hell.
Charlie, imagine if you got 5 wrestling lessons, right? And then they said, have a 5-minute match on TV. And then you were kind of stinky. And then Twitter was like, wow, this person's just a bad wrestler. And that's just the permanent rap on you and your reputation. Yeah. It's like, I don't even know how to wrestle. Like, what the fuck?
Bro, and once there's like an opinion about you, like in the internet wrestling community, you gotta move mountains for that opinion to change, bro. Like, shit, like very rarely does just like the flip just switch, but like,
hey yo, Lash Legend would have to literally turn into Bianca Belair for people to like switch up their perception of her.
People still to this day pretend like Bianca Belair can't wrestle because they don't like how much she was pushed on NXT.
Oh god, they really
like don't. It's nasty, bro.
It's crazy. It's even crazier because they were like hiring all these NIL guys. And they were giving them like the 6-month quota, and I'm
talking about WWE fans right now, pretending like Bianca can't wrestle.
Right,
part of it is obviously racism.
Right,
but like also don't like that she was green on television.
Right, like half of these niggas coming from NIL just got finished doing like defensive back drills and shit, and now they trying to sit there and wrestle on fucking national TV every week. It's like, dog.
No, I see people in the chat like disparaging Lash Legend. First of all, that is a black queen. Second of all, we're not saying that she's any good. Because right now she's not. What we're saying is that WWE did not give her a fair chance with the training that they provided her before they threw her on television.
No. Hey yo, she went straight out of college basketball, was in the PC for like literally like a month, and they threw her on TV, and she looked bad because of course she's gonna look bad.
Anybody would look bad. Like, come on.
All the misses aren't worth the couple of hits that they've had. No, there has been a couple of hits. So obviously Braun Breaker. Breaker's, he's been wrestling for 2 minutes.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
And you know who I'm gonna bring up as well? Tiffany Stratton.
No.
Because
she's a former gym.
Bro, she's been wrestling like 11 months, and she's like pretty good. It's crazy.
For all the jokes, go ahead, Rob.
Y'all remember when it was that clip was going around on Twitter of the Lash Legend match with Saray, and there was the clips of her like falling all over the place with Saray, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, she needs to be fired because she could have killed her." Like,
it's not worth it,
She had already been like 30 days in.
Yeah, and so look, like you said, Monty, there have been a couple people who are diamonds in the rough. And what I will give credit to with some of these guys.
No, but real fast, I will say though, Lash Legend is much better than Dax Harwood. All right, continue.
Very, very much.
When I look back at the legacy of NXT 2.0, it's going to be one of those shows that people lie about one way or the other and act like it was either completely outright awful in every way with nothing redeemable, or you have those certain people on certain parts of Twitter who are like, oh, it was way better than the old NXT, and like they shouldn't have changed it. And the truth is very much closer. It's more towards the middle than it is, one way or the other. And Monty, you would know as another person who watched more of the shows, right? I think you've seen every one of them. I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing,
scouting, bro.
I would watch these shows, right? And it's like, these people are put in a really shitty spot. You got a bunch of green college athletes that you're like, create a wrestling character and get it over and learn how to wrestle. And to be honest with you and to be fair, I thought when it came to like acting out in segments and performing, a lot of them got pretty competent at doing that for people who were never in the business, even if they didn't fully know how to work. So I actually thought a lot of these people kind of like did kind of decent with that. And for all the jokes and the eye rolls, Braun Breaker in 1 year has become such a solid wrestler. For 1 year,
Braun Breaker is fucking awful.
You have to stop this fake agenda.
It's not a fake agenda. You cannot wrestle.
That's just not. Charlie, don't break my heart.
Match with Tyler Bate, and you've been blinded.
Charlie, oh my God! Okay, Charlie. When Dragunov Braun is incredible, what are you gonna say?
Yo, when Dragunov drags Braun for 2.5 stars, I would clap it up for Ilya Dragunov.
He's incredible, man.
Oh my God!
Just about anyone.
Hangman, what would you say is the most impressive Braun Breaker performance?
Performance?
Yeah, from him, just solely him.
After after Halloween Havoc when he lost to Ciampa, he had a match the next week where he squashes Andre Chase, and he rebranded after a big loss, and he cut a promo.
Chase made him look strong in that match,
and he cut a promo where he talked about how much he put over Ciampa as being the vet who knows more than him and who's better than him, and he basically said, "Listen, man, I made a mistake in a match, and you beat me because you're better. That's how it is sometimes." But then he went on to say that, there's nothing that pisses me off more than losing. And he said that I'll win the NXT championship or I'm going to die trying. And the promo and that whole post-match bit and the promo and the performance,
that got you really excited?
Yeah. Yeah, it got me very excited. Excited.
Stinks.
Anyway, so my general point with this, Monty, I don't know about you. I don't know how anyone else feels. I think the perfect tone for a developmental brand like NXT is like somewhere in the middle. I get the importance of characters. You know what I mean? Like, it's good to have fun at a wrestling show. It's good to have
Tony D'Angelo, brother.
It's good to have fun. I don't mind a meme wrestler here or there.
Y'all remember when Tony D'Angelo was over?
He's still over.
Yo, I said that in the video. I wasn't even joking. I wasn't trolling or nothing. I said, damn, bro, his fall off was crazy. Cause I saw an article of him getting injured, right? All I used to see up and down the timeline was Tony D'Angelo and the like Italian hands meme. Monty wanted to rip my head off for daring to insinuate
damn right, bro.
that Tony D's not over anymore, bro.
I mean,
damn right, bro.
That shit was wild. Monty put his fucking foot down.
That's my guy, bro. I'm not standing for that shit.
He's like, I do a lot of shit from you in it, but I won't stand for this. That's so funny, bro.
What? So that took it too far, bro.
What do you guys think about the criticism that NXT before it became 2.0 was like maybe too much on the other side, too indie oriented, too edgy, too dark?
I genuinely,
did you guys feel that
watching,
way?
bro?
Okay, you weren't watching.
Aesthetically, it wasn't. Aesthetically, it did need freshening up, and it's just that they went way too far with it.
In the other direction.
As soon as I went to Wednesdays, because I did watch the our NXT things where it was like the like internet nerd shit to do. Like, but as soon as I went to Wednesdays and it became 2 hours, I was like, all right, we're going to head up with Dynamite. I was like, all right, this is where I check out. And I just watched the takeovers when I called them and shit.
You know what's funny about that, AO? When it was on the network, I didn't watch it that much. I watched the takeovers, but the WWE Network show, I almost felt like I didn't need to, because like when you watch takeovers, they tell you whatever you.
No, they would tell. So to be honest, I would watch 1 or 2 episodes before the takeover, and then I would watch the takeover.
Same. And it would, because they run so many packages and stuff like that, and Mauro Ranallo would like spit out all the information at you. Like he would just be like, Aleister Black wants to take over the NXT championship because he feels that he needs to blah, 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 blah. And so you get the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess when they went head to head with AEW, that's when I actually started watching the weekly show. The first 3 weeks, guys, like a crackhead, I'd put one show on my TV and one show on the laptop and try to simul watch them. And then after 2 weeks, I was like, yeah, I can't do that. Like that's gonna like drive, make me sick. But I'll ask you, Charlie, do you because I don't, we don't fully know what this new version is gonna look like. It's obviously gonna be more close to the old NXT than this one. Do you feel, I don't know how much you were keeping up with the NXT right before it changed. Do you feel that at the very end it became too, I don't know, edgy, too much heavy metal, too dark, too indie? What do you think about that?
Well, it was still featuring a lot of the wrestlers that I really like, so
yeah.
I liked it for the most part. I didn't like Karrion Kross, but
yeah,
I didn't like how he was featured in the title scene. Like some of the feuds felt like they were just repeating old shit because they were running out of stuff to do because they didn't have new superstars. Like,
yeah, that's a good
point.
point.
I don't know. It did kind of lean too far into indie stuff at some points, but I love that. So
yeah, that's the thing. A lot of the wrestlers that you could argue, it was too much indie oriented and not developmental, but it's like at the end of the day, the wrestlers that were from the indies that they were featuring were great. You know what I mean? Like I have my issues with Adam Cole, but Adam Cole's not bad. Tyler Bate wasn't there, but like
better than that.
All right. To be honest with you, I'd actually dispute that. I'd actually dispute that. I think Dax better. Anyways, freaking Pete Dunne. Like Pete Dunne's great. Kyle O'Reilly, he's a great wrestler. Finn Balor's awesome. So like when they would wrestle each other, like
that Finn one was great.
Yeah, when Finn Balor came back, I
leather jacket Finn.
He carried Cross to a
why is he unable to do that in the main roster, bro? I don't think he has the ability to do it in the main roster. I'm starting to think it's Finn is the problem.
Oh my! You know what it is?
Dead ass, bro. I'm starting to think it's Finn.
You know what it is, Ao. So I think certain settings just bring something out of people, and I think Finn, like, I almost feel like he needs to feel like he's the man a little bit. And
Jesus Christ, not this.
More KT $2. Velveteen was the best.
Oh my god!
I will say, as a person, Velveteen Dream is a better person than Dax Harwood.
Oh, bro, what? No.
This is true. You know what I'll say about Morkich? You know what I'll say about Morkich's comment, man? Velveteen was looking like he was going to be the greatest male performance center creation they have ever made. Yeah. And what I found fascinating about him in his run was that the product was a super indie product in that it was a bunch of super workers who came from Ring of Honor and PWG, and it was almost my thinking at the time was like, okay, to get over in wrestling nowadays is you have to be a worker on that level and wrestle that style. And this guy came in and he was all sizzle and panache and performance, and he was the posing and the flexing, and he got over just as much as Matt Riddle and Andrade and Alistair and all these other guys. And it was just so impressive to me. So,
I wish y'all could have been there when because all I heard was Velveteen Dream, Dreams of Future. And I wasn't watching, right? Because I wasn't watching NXT at the time, right?
Yeah.
And then I finally I started watching, I watched like a couple of his matches. I'm like, wait a minute. This nigga's doing double axe handles. This nigga's doing a fucking, his finish is a fucking elbow drop. This nigga don't do no flips. I was like, I was shocked. Bro, it's all character and promo work. Like people,
he was super over.
I think I cut out there, but people were like, people were really excited about his character and promo work. So I went back and I watched that. And I was like, damn, yeah, Dream was him. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Monty, my question for you: what do you think is the ideal tone of this upcoming NXT? In terms of types of talents featured, creative direction, aesthetic, style.
Tyler Bate.
Yo, honestly,
young, great worker.
Just Tyler Bate.
What more do you
want? Charlie, what is the ideal tone, creative direction, and aesthetic of this new NXT?
I haven't been watching 2.0. But what I have seen of it, it's like you need to move way away from that because they did some good stuff. I think there's some good people that have come out of it. I can't really name any off the top of my head because I just can't. But I think they need to move more towards work rate matches, but that shouldn't be all of it.
Tyler Bate for 2 hours.
Yes, I agree.
Works for me.
He needs to cut his hair. I will say that.
I think if they're keeping people like Tyler Bate in there, they should be used with some of the younger talents, like the way that they did the Bron Breakker match. And just like have them like show out and prove that they are improving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't want fucking Cartoon Network NXT anymore.
Yeah. I am. And that's the thing for me. I think that an exciting high work rate brand with young wrestlers that has the fun meme characters sprinkled in with aesthetics that don't like slap me in the face is ideal. Because like to me, I thought 2.0. All
right, bro. Fuck all this NXT talk, my nigga. We're in circles at this point now.
Right.
No, I was going to there. My bad. I was just gonna say.
Nigga. You have 15 more minutes in your mouth.
No, I didn't.
I'm fucking warden around here now.
Warden.
All right, I'm a warden. When shit going on a little too long, wrap it up, bro. Wrap it up. You have 30 seconds to wrap it up.
I think a hybrid between both shows with an aesthetic that's not as jarring and color splattery is ideal. So that's just the bottom line there. So
This was
Push Carmelo Hayes to the moon.
yeah.
This was in response to Triple H booking Dominic Mysterio and Edge in the main event of Monday Night Raw.
Hey, bro.
Thank you for the $2 super chat. Still, Joaquin. Too much dip on your chip. We can't do any longer.
The nerd.
And Bam, $5. Just wanted to thank everyone on the podcast today and past people as well. AO, you're the hero in this evil world, so we thank you. Kenny Omega, greatest of all time.
Monty, I have a question for you.
Bam 2555019, real nigga. I appreciate you, bro.
Monty, before we get into Dynamite, I have a question to ask you and everybody, but I'll ask you because I'm afraid of asking anybody else. So AEW Dynamite did 1.1 million viewers and a 0.39 in the key demo. A tremendous rating. The highest total viewership since last year. Is it safe to say that certain men were holding the number back? Certain men that consider themselves elite?
No, it's definitely safe to say that. No, it's definitely safe to say that people don't want to watch CM Punk, that failed UFC fighter, that old ass, raggedy ass man, who almost tore every single ligament in his knee trying to do a buckshot lariat, and out of pride tried to do it 5 more times and botched 5 more times. It is safe to say that people don't want to watch that bullshit anymore. It is safe to say that people don't want to watch CM Punk botch Bret Hart spots anymore. It is safe to say that during the MJF match, they were trying to do that Bret Hart sharpshooter on the pole spot, and they botched it completely. And then somebody else did it last month, and it was perfect. I forget who did it, but shout out to them. It is safe to say that CM Punk is a bum who can't draw a dime no more.
Monty, you know why he's yelling over me?
That if you get Big
so
AO stick out 10 with part of a fucking promo.
He's yelling over bro. Because I have the quarter hours right in front of me.
No.
I remember.
Everyone, chill.
Yeah, anyway, let's get to Dynamite.
Because they know I was an explosive.
Nigga. Nah, tuck your chain in.
If you would like to see the truth and the
tuck your
facts,
chain in.
You're a liar, bro. You're a liar, nigga.
Check my account out. I'm going to tweet out the quarter hours.
Tuck your chain in.
You tweeted
And you will
us.
see that tag team wrestling was the biggest draw in the show.
Oh God. Oh God. And a certain team wasn't on the fucking match.
All I know is the last shows that CM Punk were on.
No FTR, and they stayed above 1 million. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh God, cook.
The last shows that CM Punk was on, his quarter hours did 1 million, and other men's did not. More KG. Get Charlie to read all future super chats. Is anybody in opposition of this? Well, there you go. Charlie, you are the official super chat reader tonight. So, yeah.
Charlie, you're up.
Sean Morgan, Creed Bro's gonna be a top 2 NXT creation of all time.
Talk that shit.
Can't speak on that, but thank you for the chat.
The Creed brothers are very fun and chaotic, and they don't fully know what they're doing, but that's almost part of the appeal. Top 2 of all time is kind of insane considering Sasha Banks came out of NXT and Bianca Belair came out of NXT. But they will be really good wrestlers someday, I think.
Julius is getting there, bro. I'm telling you.
He's talented. Anna saw him for the first time when she watched The Worlds Collide, and her first reaction was like, "Who's the skinny Creed brother?" Oh.
Anna, you have to
don't call her out like that.
Anna, you put the Fed over a little bit too much on the timeline.
Oh my God.
It's starting to hurt my feelings. You're gonna have to talk about that. But other than that, you're doing great.
Unbiased, fair take.
He's very
good heart. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Shout out to Anna. I love Anna, but she just puts the Fed over a little bit too much on the timeline. Peach, you are so close to getting muted because you're a literal drone. I don't know how I ever started.
Peach is a literal drone.
Peach is a literal drone. I don't know how I ever started following
like actual drone.
I don't know how this happened. But you know what? I'm gonna keep you here for now because real people vouch for you. But just know you're on thin ice, man.
Right.
While we're exposing people, Alexia liked Sheamus versus Gunther.
Everyone did.
I mean, everybody watched it. If I watched it, I probably would too, but I didn't watch the fucking match.
You still not watched it?
No.
Yo, that's loyal to the brand.
No. The thing is, I didn't skip Clash of Castles out of spite. Like, I was busy. I couldn't watch that fucking show, right? Mm-hmm. And then
you saw them Dave ratings.
I did see the Dave ratings, but like people weren't raving about the show like those ratings would suggest that they should be. Their ratings should be suggesting that it was like night one of WrestleMania.
What happened to AO was it was one of those things where the discourse following the show immediately was like just surrounding Drew not winning, and so that kind of was the conversation of the show for the most part, outside of the Gunther match.
Were people pissed or happy?
People were pretty annoyed that Drew McIntyre didn't win in his in front of his people.
I mean, as long as they were upset, then that's okay with me.
Exactly. Okay, I have an announcement, everybody. This is actually a really exciting announcement. So can I get a drum roll?
No. All right, bro. Get the tomatoes in the chat for the announcement.
Fuck you guys.
Get the tomatoes in the chat for the announcement.
When you actually hear the announcement, you guys are actually gonna regret throwing the tomatoes. So I'll do my own drum roll.
Hey, yo, come on, bro.
This nigga over there punishing himself, bro. It sounded nasty.
It sounded crazy.
That nigga over there punishing himself.
Mad weird, nigga. What the fuck?
Hey, yo, we're live doing a podcast. There's a lady here.
What a saying.
Yo.
Family friendly show, nigga. What you doing?
There's a lady on the pod. There's ladies in the chat. There's kids.
Yeah, like come on,
what if my young boy Andre was in the chat?
Yo, what a saying.
Like I was clapping. Yo,
you'd be going to prison right now if my young boy Andre was in the chat.
I can see Charlie's
you
face.
Dax Harwood ass nigga.
Charlie was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Anyways, the announcement is Isra will be making her return to the WrestlePurists podcast next week.
It's lit.
Yep,
it's lit. I wasn't planning on being here.
And the crowd goes wild.
I'm gonna be here.
Yeah, Isra's gonna be there, and we're going to have a discussion on Cody Rhodes. So it's gonna be a 2-hour discussion about Cody Rhodes, the best wrestler in WWE.
You trying to send fucking viewers away? Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Isra, aka Rollins, aka Drawlins.
I like that one. Yeah. Before we move on to Dynamite, I tweeted out the quarter hours again, and someone.
Bro, nobody cares, bro. This is not going to be a 2.5 hour long podcast. I'm telling you, I'm leaving in an hour and 3 minutes.
I was just Dynamite.
Nobody cares.
I was just gonna say someone cares.
Nobody cares.
Tomatoes.
Get the Dynamite.
What did you guys think of AEW Dynamite last night? I'll start with Charlie.
I thought the first hour was like okay, it was alright, but the second hour was really good.
Monty.
That's about it.
I like how it wasn't dizzying pacing wise. We got the matches. All the matches had some kind of build, whether that was a video package or something. Obviously, except for the first match, I didn't really need one because it was just Moxie's music hitting. I thought the show overall again was just like structured really well. Solid wrestling, a great main event. I thought it was a pretty decent show. Yeah. Obviously, the tag match was great as well.
What happened?
What did you think of Dynamite?
I had a good time. It was. I thought it was a very, very, very good show. I really, really enjoyed the Swerve and Our Glory versus Lucha Bros match, and just wondering about this main event next week, bro.
Wow, you sold me, bro.
With that title. What happened?
You sold
oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good, bro.
Hey yo, what do you think of Dynamite?
It's crazy.
I actually, it was fine in like the first hour, but I thought it was like, so I liked the Sammy versus Box match. I did like that match. I'm like the only Sammy Guevara truther alive left, but like I felt like the first hour was like I found myself like looking at my phone a lot, like not really like caring what was going on the screen. And then like it picked up like Jungle Boy versus Jay Lethal, two wrestlers who I like a lot. That was like a nothing match. It was fine. It was a nothing match. And I was just like, but Dynamite really picked up like towards the end. I liked the episode a lot, but the first hour was just like fine wrestling. Fine.
Okay. So this is gonna sound crazy.
Yeah.
I thought I actually thought the show was kind of dull and bland, and I also felt like I didn't even really need to see it in a weird way. But with that said, I have a crazy take.
Nigga's nasty.
No, hear me out. I have a crazy take, and this is gonna shock
Fucking
everybody.
real.
Monty and or AO would probably be able to answer this. Out of all the people who wrestled on Dynamite last night, who would you guys say is the wrestler I like the most out of anyone who wrestled last night?
Danielson.
Who would you say is my least favorite wrestler out of the wrestlers that wrestled last night?
Guevara.
You know what I thought was the match of the night on Dynamite?
Mox's Guevara.
It was Moxley versus Sammy Guevara. I thought that was the best match on the show.
Thank
Bro.
you.
And
Like I say, bro, like you niggas just y'all like thank you, Hangman. But
Yeah.
everybody else who pretends like everything Sammy does is bad just because it's Sammy attached, y'all are weirdos.
And then Monty leaves.
No, bro. You don't
He's
even
real.
yo,
He's real.
Monty and Ash was moving wicked in the chat last night.
I'm about to
Talking
say,
Talking
bro.
about it was a 2-star match.
Bro,
Talking
they
about
was
garbage.
Bro, they was in that bitch.
Bro, they were moving nasty.
It was pretty damn good. It was pretty damn good. And
Isn't
not
that
I'm not gonna go as
Listen,
far as
listen,
I'm not
listen,
going as
listen,
far as
listen.
Hangman. I think Danielson Jericho was better. But
it was not.
But yo, you should have seen how nasty Monty and
they was in
Ash
that-
was moving yesterday, bro. She was
Bro, they was in that bitch talking about Sammy sucks, and I'm like, bro,
talking about this is terrible talk. Bro,
Bro, like, this
Sammy
match
was
is
doing
bad.
real lucha wrestling. He wasn't doing a million flips like y'all cry about all the time. He was doing real wrestling. He was doing chop sequences. Like, come on, bro. What do you want from him?
like,
You want him to
come on,
die?
bro.
Like, what do you want from him?
So check this out. I was gonna say something crazy.
That's crazy.
No, chill. But you want to hear? Here's what makes my take insane. I do think that Sammy Guevara is just kind of okay. I'm not a big fan of him as a wrestler. You know, a lot of people hate him because of the Ty Conti stuff. I don't really even give a shit about that. I'm just not that big of him.
Hating him
I'm
since
just
like the
not.
beginning. I just don't like him.
Yo, Charlie, it's on episode 1 of Dynamite when he faced Cody and he came out in that like big panda hat.
Yo,
I was
if
like,
we do-
no.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
gonna tell you, if we do another, this is why I hate Sammy Guevara segment. I'm leaving.
Okay.
Not even because I like it. It's just, bro, how many times can I have this same conversation with these same people, bro? I'm not doing it again. I'm not, bro. Let's move on, bro.
Have you guys
We
noticed
get it.
how-
You don't like him.
AO has become he's very much turned into a very fussy weight thrower in WrestlePurists. His politicking is getting a little bit out of control, and
it's gonna get worse.
And now even live on podcasts, it's very much like this has to be tailored to what I want right now, or I'm out of here. It's becoming AO is becoming CM Punk, which is just really interesting. He's becoming
You
crazy
find
what you
any
people
way
want me
to
to
bring
go
up
through.
CM Punk.
It's
Charlie,
really
he's the greatest
crazy
wrestler of all
what you
time.
want me to
You know,
go
like
through.
it's
He
easy.
isn't.
Guys, bro, you got
He
Who said CM Punk? Back.
You,
Back.
this fucking yellow ass drama queen is back. This self-hating racist Monty
I'm about to say,
who
bro.
keeps all the black people WrestlePurists down is back, only to prop up the white people. You want to know how Charlie got so many
That's
followers
crazy.
so fast?
That is
Monty's
crazy.
giving them to her.
That's crazy.
You think Monty ever gave me a follower?
Monty, you want to know why? You
Nah,
want to
my
know why
black
Sammy
ass.
Guevara versus John Moxley was the best match on Dynamite? Would you like me to explain this, sir? It's really
No.
the only strong.
I would not like to hear that explanation. I will never listen to it.
You know what I actually do want to hear from you, Hangman. You
Okay.
bitch ass.
Me singing?
What did you like about Sammy this match that you think he doesn't regularly do that made you so adverse to his wrestling? Besides the fact that he did less flips.
So no, it's not even a matter of flip count, because what it really is Sammy Guevara is a geek with shitty looking offense and a guy who has X-Pac.
Bro.
Listen. This is the honest truth. This is my honest truth, not the objective truth. This is my truth. Sammy Guevara is a geek with shitty looking offense who has X-Pac heat. He is hard to take seriously, and he's pretty much agreeably across the board considered unlikable, right? So when he sure, but most people don't. And so I think that in other matches, that kind of stands out in like a way that doesn't add to the match. But here, when he's taking on John Moxley, it makes for such a beautiful clash of dynamics because it's like Mox is no nonsense and he's no bullshit and he doesn't go with that type of stuff, right? He's not going to try to go with his contrived style of wrestling. He's not going to go for his shenanigans, and he's just very surly and pissed off. And so seeing Sammy try to do his crappy looking strikes and Mox is like, fuck you, and he slaps him back.
No, Sammy strikes are fucking awesome.
You're entitled to your opinion. Again, though, listen, that was just a perfect dynamic to me. Moxley just like no selling his shit and slapping him back. Moxley just kind of throwing him around and dumping him around. The fact that Sammy, he's a bit of a sniveling bitch, and so he can't physically overcome John. But what he can do is, squirm around him and slip away from certain moves and, get his offense out of desperation. And when that doesn't work, that's when, that's when Ty Conti and Anna Jay come in. And I thought it made for actually very entertaining smoke and mirrors spots because, I don't believe that John Moxley would struggle to beat Sammy one-on-one. I don't believe that Sammy could beat his ass one-on-one. Can I believe that Sammy Guevara can use two women to help him beat John Moxley? Yes. So when they did the low blow and the near falls and all that stuff, that actually did work for me. And all in all, especially with the finish, I thought it was just a very well done match. And because there were like no spots or portions of the match that didn't work for me, I thought it was the best match on Dynamite because the main event, while generally very good, I thought there were certain portions of that match that did not work for me. And so that's kind of my thing.
I mean, you're wrong. But...
Monty is dejected. Like he
Yo, Monty and Ash was moving so nasty in the chat after the Mox match last night, bro. I would have to kick them both out, make this shit AEW.
Charlie, what did you think of John Moxley versus Sammy Guevara?
Well, I respect Sammy as a wrestler because I think he can have good matches. I thought this was like a good match. I mean, fair enough. Okay. I thought it was a good match. It was a good opener.
Hangman, how about that?
Well,
I don't respect you as a podcaster.
It's crazy. I'm the dollars and cents of WrestlePurists.
Hold on. This is very we're like having a man off in front of Charlie's monologue here. Like she's trying to give her thoughts, and we're like having a big measurement contest. It's very rude. Charlie, finish your thoughts, please.
Sorry, Charlie. You dual-haired queen.
Yeah, I thought it was good. It was yeah, I don't know. I thought the interference spot was like well done for an interference spot. I don't like them in general, but yeah, I liked how Mox was mocking Sammy throughout most of it because, as he should, Sammy's a geek. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I thought it was good. Yeah.
See, this match acknowledges that Sammy Guevara is a geek. That's the thing. Other Sammy Guevara matches to me run from this reality, and so it's just hard for me.
In this reality, bro, he's a fucking Spanish god. Look at him, work to Jericho. He's got a fucking hot ass wife, bro.
He does. He does.
Shit is crazy. It's a real nigga.
In this match, they acknowledge that he is a geek and use it to the strength of the match. And Charlie, it's funny you talk about not being into interferences. So interferences, they're supposed to add drama to a match. They're not supposed to detract from it, right? Oftentimes you see that they're used as a booking crutch because it's like, oh, we got to protect this guy. We got to protect that guy. And so it doesn't add to a match. But the best interferences are the ones that add drama. And so for this one, the low blow leading to a near fall, like that's a good spot because it's like, oh, like you bought it as a viewer. So yeah, I agree with you. I like the interferences. What did you think of the opener, Rob?
I really like the opener. I really enjoy Sammy getting like his shit off because I as soon as I seen that fucking promo that he cut on the road too, and niggas might say listen, bro.
Oh my god,
it was a very bad promo, but it wasn't as bad as like these niggas were making it seem like it was terrible, like it was the worst promo of all time.
It might have been.
It wasn't that bad, bro.
It was.
But as soon as
it just made me laugh because it sounded like he was going to start rapping. Like, it just made me laugh.
You're right. You know,
it sounds like in a reality show. You know, sometimes he goes to the confessional and they're playing like hip hop beat in the background and like Hollywood Hangman's personal assistant, $199. Resume sent, Mr. AO.
Yo, Yo, I saw that in the chat before it was brought up, right? I go to my DMs. I was like, nobody sent me shit. I go to my DMs. In my message request, there's a DM from Hollywood Hangman's personal assistant. That's his display name, at underpaid assistant.
Oh my god. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
His bio is, I question why I work for him, TBH.
Oh my god. Hollywood or my personal assistant. I thank you for being my personal assistant. I appreciate your efforts. You're valued as my assistant. I don't know if you're going to be valued under AO.
I just hired him.
I pay you very well, and I appreciate everything that you do for me.
How could a broke ass nigga pay anybody very well?
Moving on. I'm just going to no selling that. Monty, this show had a lot of video packages, and
yeah,
it was funny that Tony kept tweeting about it in the afternoon, like this was gonna have a lot of informative video packages. It almost felt like he was either being sarcastic or doing a bit. I didn't know what was going on here. But that's what happened. We had a bunch of video packages on the show. It actually felt like Triple H NXT because like he's a video package merchant, if you haven't noticed, and that's kind of the
there was a lot of video packages, bro.
There was
I didn't notice until you just said it right now.
Video packages.
There was a shitload.
Maybe that's why I was on my phone a lot, bro. I don't really care about video packages unless it's like people that I really fucking care about.
Murph YouTube $4.99. I haven't been able to watch, but I feel like AO has been right and Ibu wrong. By the way, can this be reimbursed? What the fuck?
That's a
Who
fact.
is this? Who is this?
It's Murph.
Yo, young Murph talking that shit, bro.
Oh, is it Murph? Okay.
Guys, Murph is just mad. Murph is just mad that he can't try out for NXT now because they need workers again and not just like big white football players. So that's what he's really frustrated.
Bro, Murph is a kid. He can go be an indie darling. He's got all the time in the world to go be an indie darling.
The thing is, it's gonna take.
Murph's still a baby.
It's gonna take 3 years, whereas he could have just hopped in for the old system. Yeah, there's
not reimbursing.
Hey, it's funny. You ended up on your phone because of all the packages. People debate this, like, should wrestling shows have a lot of packages? Should they not? And there was the longest whole thing about the Road 2 stuff should be on the show. And the people who don't like packages, they would argue like, oh, it kills the ratings. And it's very fascinating that this show that was so package heavy, it did draw a bigger audience. Maybe the audience that watches WWE, the audience that kind of needs to be told everything, maybe they're just kind of used to that. Like people will say, "Oh, you're holding their hand," but maybe
I don't think such a big effect would be seen so quickly. Now, if that could be the case, that very well could be the case, but I don't think it would be seen that fast. Like, oh, they're doing a lot of packages. Let me stick around instead of wrestling and shit. I think they just did a giant number this week, bro.
You might be right, but you know what I realized, AO, because when certain people would tweet things, I used to always be like, man, like it's not rocket science, man. Just put 2 and 2 together, man.
Yeah.
Right? But then you look at wrestling Twitter, for example, right? And
these people really don't have the ability to put 2 and 2 together.
You'll see people like questioning things about storylines in AEW that it's like if you just pay attention, like you'd understand, right?
Right.
And I come to realize that no, maybe some of these people genuinely
they like these grown adults who don't have any cognitive disabilities actually need their hand held.
And that's not even
understand these very simple stories, and it's crazy to me.
Bro, AO, you'll be watching this and you're like, why is he fighting this guy? What's the issue? Like, what? Why is he doing this?
You remember the Raj Giri tweet? The fucking Raj Giri tweet?
Exactly, and he's one of many. What? He's one of many. Like, there's tons of people. You go on Twitter and like during an AEW show, like you'd act like AEW was putting calculus on the screen.
The man's won the title. Like, it wasn't even a title shot, it was title eliminator versus Mark.
Yeah.
That was got the peak of that recently.
Bro, I remember that Discord. No, the week afterward was like worse because they brought out Ace Steel and they said several times, this is this nigga's best friend.
This is Ace Steel.
And you still got people
This is his best friend, 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 this is his best friend.
Bro, they said
this guy.
This guy. They were on Twitter.
I never heard. Where did he never say?
Like, come on. I was like, all right.
Oh, yes. I thought Charlie Nick. I thought the
motorboat was sounding. Charlie was like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Yo, I thought Charlie was like, "There's too much niggatry. I'm out of here."
No, my Wi-Fi dropped out.
Oh man.
But yeah, so it's like it's not hard to be smart, bro.
Yeah, and so maybe Tony was like, you know what, bro, I'm tired of this. I'm gonna help the over 50s out. I'm gonna just give you niggas video packages since y'all can't follow stories, you know. And Ayo, I think you also maybe zoned out because it was like I understand what these stories are about.
Like they tell me
Are
something
you
that I already
calling
know
AO old?
by following the product.
No, what I'm saying is Ayo saying that he zoned out a lot early, and I think it's because it's like if you know what the storyline is, you don't need this 2-minute package to explain to you what the storyline is. You know, so for him, it's just like he's zoned out, and I could see that. So,
Should
yeah,
we?
what's the next segment?
Yeah, next thing was MJF promo on John Moxley comes out, says that Moxley's he does the old MJF shtick that he always does, insults the fans, insults the crowd.
Nothing.
He just kind of does the MJF shtick. Says John Moxley's playing a character, calls him an alcoholic. There was a great part in the promo where he singles out a fan and calls him fat, and the fan flexes his arms at him. And then he introduces the fan.
His arms at him. I'm just sad.
Are you an MJF fan, Charlie?
No.
Really? Wow.
No. Have you not heard me talk about MJF before? I do not like.
Bro, it's really crazy when MJF fans like don't understand that everybody doesn't think this is the greatest shit on earth.
Yeah.
Right.
And this isn't me doing a bit right now where I'm just like, no, this guy's fucking.
You're not into his shtick, right?
No, I genuinely like MJF is cool. He's all right with me. Like,
you know what's funny? So I am really high on Max, and I think that he's really good in storylines at helping get the babyface over. And we've seen it with Punk and with Wardlow. Like he's really good at that, in my opinion. And yeah, he's really good at that. And his the build to matches against him, like they were creative. Now it's kind of like the same thing. It's like jump through hoop number 1, 2, 3 before you face me. Like he's done that formula a couple times. The point is though, I'm a big fan of Max, right? What I will say is the promo material that he had this week, AO, I hate to agree with you because
it's
you're
literal Mad Libs, bro.
but
literal Mad Libs.
It was very uninspired.
Like,
It's to the point where, like, AO, I rewinded the promo 2 times because I zoned out. Like I genuinely started like
it went so long as well, bro.
How many times can I hear MJF for 15 minutes go sports team bad? Somebody you love is dead. Oh, drunk.
You had a shitty you had a shitty childhood.
Bad. Fans virgin. Fans fat. Like how many times can I? Like, come on, bro.
That's a good point.
Somebody find me. I'll cash app you right now if you find me a Jay White promo where he says sports team bad.
Is this Backup Hangman's burner account?
Zootopia Productions, Braun Breaker is him. Gresham should have been number 1.
Oh.
I feel like this is Heyman's little brother back to troll me, bro. I feel like he's back. You know what? I'll troll that AO nigga.
The thing is, my brother is one of my biggest ops, so I don't know if he would want to do that. But here's the thing, Monty. That's the thing. Like, I'm watching it, and yeah, he's just kind of going like, "You're all white trash. You're virgins." Mox, he has alcohol problems. LOL. Again, it's just kind of
like, a shitty childhood.
And I don't know, maybe because I just, like AO said, I hate to agree with AO, but like it was very tired material. He's done all of these things.
And do y'all agree?
Promos are the same to me.
Thank you, Charles. Do y'all agree or disagree with this point? All that time that he had off, he should have been able to like jot down the most fire like shit that we ever heard MJF ever say.
I'm gonna cut you there.
Maybe he still has that in the tuck for like with his first actual feud. But that was a 10-15 minute promo segment. And that shit stunk, bro.
AO. I'm gonna stop you there. I think he had a lot of good shit in the chamber for CM Punk. I think he had a lot to say to him that he couldn't get off because he's gone. And I think because he's gone, they've had to reroute, and he's kind of had to like factory reset back to just being like what he was. You know, I genuinely believe that he was gonna do a lot of cutting edge and different stuff. Not completely different, but I think that like we were gonna get a different angle of his character. I think an element of it that we're just not seeing because the whole story had to be changed. So yeah, go ahead, Rob. What did you think?
Like last week, all you heard this nigga say was like, oh, he was talking, and then all of a sudden he goes, oh yeah, the fucking Josh Allen sucks, by the way. And I was like, all right, bro, like, you say some other shit, nigga, like, nobody fucking cares.
I don't know, man. It's also at the same time, it's like, I don't know, man. It's so corny, it almost pops me. You know,
I'll say this: if I had to see someone in AEW waffle for 15 minutes, there are so many worse options than Max.
I mean, that's a fact. Like, I'm not.
Yeah.
Bro, Max is very good on the mic. He has
just
the
talking.
ability to cut a very good promo. He just
Yeah.
chooses, or maybe he doesn't choose to. Maybe he is limited in doing this same promo that he does to start every fucking feud.
the content lacks a bit of depth, basically.
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah.
And you know what? To even go further than that, he talked about how this isn't, I'm not in front of a podium. I'm not saying MJF 2020. This isn't the Max from 2 years ago. Like I'm this much different. I'm that much different. And I don't know about you guys. When he said that, I was like, how?
Yo, I was literally thinking
Right?
the same
Like-
thing, and I was like, yo, am I being a hater right now? I'm like,
I was
besides,
like, you are not
besides
different.
dropping the Trump-esque gimmick, how are you different?
And to be honest, it's because I've always
He's
been
bigger.
high on Max.
He is bigger.
Yeah, because bro, I thought that Max was really good from day one. At what I thought he was pretty much like a finished product of what he is, pretty much at the very start. And so because of that, like to me, he's just been the same. Like he's just MJF. He's the prick who can talk well. But yeah, I don't know. This promo didn't work for me. Hopefully the next ones do. Following this, Stokely Hathaway came out with a group of individuals that he is labeling the Firm. Branavan Candia, I probably botched your name. We've seen MJF cut more substantive promos this year. Oh, absolutely. When he cut that promo about his origins of hating CM Punk, I mean that was great. But yeah, so Stokely Hathaway came out and he introduced the Firm, and he kind of spoke for a very long time about how he's not really an advocate or a manager, and how this has all been one big master plan. And then how he watched Living Single with the House of Black, and he did this with this guy and that with that guy, and he spoke for a long period about these things, and then he introduced one by one the individual members, and he kind of said what their goals were, and he talked about Big Cass, saying that he was going to go for everything he wanted. He told him that he loved him 2 times and then hugged him. He pointed out Lee Moriarty, who is sporting green hair. And Lee was making Vogue poses while he told everyone that Lee Moriarty was going for the Pure Championship, which is currently held by Daniel Garcia. He then went to the Ass Boys, and he talked about them. Don't remember what he said. And then he went. Then he pointed out Ethan Page, who, when he pointed out Ethan Page, he got a pop. I don't know if anyone knows that. He got a pop. And
well, what it is, it's upstate New York, and Ethan Page is from Canada. So he works that area a lot.
Gotcha.
Ethan Page isn't over. Don't worry, guys.
Yeah,
it's not.
All right, cool.
It's not Ethan Page being over.
Mashallah. So yeah, and Ethan Page is actually wearing a shirt that I own, which is pretty funny. But he said Ethan Page, Mr. Canada was going to go for the All Atlantic Championship. But the bottom line is they are not a stable with MJF. They are associates that are basically commissioned to help him out here, and they unite when they're needed, and when they're not needed, from what I understand, they will not be together. I think was how it was explained. I'm guessing the baddies and Stokely is done.
Wait, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta run upstairs and get my laptop charging.
Got you. I think the baddies now are done as a concept, which is a bit of a shame because I liked the visual of Stokely, Jade, and the baddies. I liked that. So that being done is kind of disappointing, but this is the Firm. What do you make of the Firm, Charlie? What did you make of this segment? What do you think of the Firm?
I'm glad that they're not having them as an actual full-time stable, because Lee Moriarty is too good for that. W. Morrissey is such a weird character on AEW. It's so
his hair is
hilarious. Oh, it's just like, why is he constantly just staring at the hard cam with a vacant stare? I don't really get him, but I'll give him a chance. Why were the Gun Club glittery? That's my main question.
You noticed that, right?
Yeah.
They had glitter on their chests. And Austin literally, I don't know why I caught this in my camera view, as I'm watching the show. Literally in the background, you just see him kind of shake his arm and flex it, and then he just kind of slaps his chest, and the glitter glistens. It was just okay. Zootopia Productions, $2. Braun, Mello, and Gresham are better than Elite. Oh, that's
all right, bro. All right, bro.
That is so
Anyways.
true. It's not even funny.
Nigga, shut the
Back
fuck
to
up.
Dynamite before I leave.
Right.
Ethan Page is Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll have a match that isn't bad with Pac because it's Pac. But yeah, I'm just glad that Stokely Hathaway has kind of made sense of this group in a way that I'm like, okay, I don't hate it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, for me, actually, no, I'll let Rob go first and then you go. Rob, what did you think of this?
I thought that shit was fucking gas, nigga. What are y'all talking about? That niggas on Twitter talking about it was
Charlie,
it was
super chat.
whatever the fuck. Oh yes, super chat.
Stokely praising Allah on TV ruled. Yes, I agree.
That
Oh
did
God,
rule.
oh God, that
like,
shit ruled, nigga.
Appreciate you, Mad King.
Thank you for the super chat, Matt King. He was like, "Praise be to Allah, Lee Moriarty." I was just like, "Okay, all right, sure." Go ahead, Rob.
Yeah, but a lot of the people going crazy on Twitter are like, "Oh, it was like whatever the fuck." It's like, bro, I don't understand the hate behind the promo. Like, he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, he went out there and he told every guy, he got them over. He gave him a purpose. So it's just like, I don't understand the hate on it. But
so here's what I'll say, Rob, because I'm a big believer in Stokely Hathaway. I'm a fan of his. He's a very nice guy. I like him as a performer. The idea of Lee Moriarty with Stokely is actually pretty promising. And generally, I actually trust in Stokely's ability to kind of help these people be more over than they are. I was skeptical of this group going in, and what I will say is I appreciate knowing the who, what, when, where, and why of this group, because for the longest time it felt so random. But with that said, I could understand someone thinking maybe it was just an awkward segment because the crowd wasn't really into it, and you could kind of hear them getting restless as he was talking for a period. And I think what it is and this is a storytelling thing. It's not even just a wrestling thing. Exposition, the art of revealing information to the audience, can be awkward sometimes. LOL, just trolling. Keep up the awesome work, guys. $2 from Zootopia. Thank you, sir. Exposition sometimes when it's literally just regurgitating and just vomiting a bunch of information at the crowd in a very I don't know if the word's contrived way, but it's just kind of like, this is this guy, and I plan to do this with him on this day, and that's how we met, and that's why you should like him, and he's doing this. This is this guy, and it almost feels like a PowerPoint presentation in a ring.
Yeah,
and that's kind of that can be awkward. Stoke did his best.
Yeah.
He definitely did his best, but I can see why someone would kind of just think, not be super into that. So yeah, for me, I'm kind of mixed because of that. It did kind of feel like an elongated, awkward PowerPoint presentation. And so, yeah, it is what it is. The jury is out. Chi-Town Spurs. Hangman trying to be Stephen A. I don't even know what he means by that. I don't even know what he means by that.
Even but it's just funny.
Yeah, just whatever. But yeah, that was the segment. What was the next thing on the show, Monty?
Oh wait.
Oh no, I don't know. Actually, no. Go give your thoughts on it because I know you have opinions on this.
I just thought it was long. Honestly, I thought it was long. I thought the crowd was dead. It's kind of awkward. It's not like Stokely's delivery was bad or anything, or even the content of what he was saying wasn't making any sense or anything like that. It was just, I'll say, it was just a little bit long, especially after MJF just waffled for 15 minutes. Then
So,
yeah, a lot of waffling. But yeah, man, like obviously I get kind of the the goal that we're going for. I'm sure they would have liked the crowd to have been a little more engaged with it. But
Yo, I'm back.
I guess we'll see where it goes. But
I'm so sorry, everybody. It's a fucking journey.
Yeah, but yeah, the Stokely promo, like, I get the goal of it, but it was too long for me, and yeah, the crowd just wasn't engaged, and it just made it that little bit more tough. Charlie, you're up.
Wow, 6-star.
Thank you for the $20. I love you all. You're doing terrific work. I'll have to listen later. I've got to continue my grind. Charlie, I'm very happy to see you up there. I hope all of you have been having a great day. Love you, 6-star. You're the best.
Six-Star,
Six
you are
Star.
just consistently just so good to us. We thank you. Thank you for the super chat donation. The next thing was Jungle Boy versus Jay Lethal, correct, Monty?
Yeah.
Yes.
Does anyone have anything to say about this?
No.
No.
What was the next thing on the? What was the next thing on the
Well,
Um,
perfect. It was a fine match. There's nothing wrong with the match. Two working.
No, you. Hey, yo, you ruined the bit. You ruined the bit. You ruined the bit. You ruined the bit. What was the next thing on the show?
Hook in Action Bronson hype video, which was fucking awesome.
That was
That
such a
was
good
awesome.
video.
Yo, but Hook is
I
not
love
from
that.
New York City, bro. And I'm not gonna let you get that lie off.
He's
Action
not?
Bronson. He's from a suburb of Long Island.
Oh my god, he's from New York. He's from New York.
He said two New York City kids nasty. You're not from New York,
Listen,
Hook.
let him get the lie off. It is what it is. I actually think that match is going to be very fun. I hope Bronson. You know what I've noticed, Monty? Wrestling is on a good streak of celebrity matches. Because when I was growing up, celebrity matches like equaled like bad wrestling.
Tough.
Tough. Like when I was a kid, like there was no good celebrity matches, you know. And now, for whatever reason, like we're on a streak where like every celebrity is coming in there and like doing pretty good.
Bro,
You know, whether it's bad.
When we were a kid, besides the Floyd Mayweather match, like the hype around the celebrity match was like how much of a freak show this thing could turn into.
Yes.
Like,
it was just funny to
Remember,
see.
What's the name, bro?
Snooki was in a
Snooki,
match.
yeah,
Snooki.
Snooki.
Yeah, bro, and they had to do like a
Yeah.
back handspring cartwheel, elbow into the corner or something like that. That shit was hilarious.
Maria Menounos tried to wrestle. That wasn't good. You know, you go back to the 90s, like Dennis Rodman tried to wrestle, and like it was fun to see Dennis Rodman in a wrestling ring, but he couldn't do anything. Karl Malone did a diamond cutter, and that was hilarious, but like he couldn't wrestle, the basketball player. So yeah, celebrity matches like were never like good. And then we have Bad Bunny, and we had Stephen Amell at SummerSlam in 2015, and then freaking Logan Paul and Pat McAfee. It's like we're in the golden age of celebrity wrestling, you know. So because of that, maybe I'm perhaps too optimistic.
Hasn't AEW had a couple good appearances?
I can't remember off the top of my head. Shaq.
Yeah,
There we
Shaq.
go.
Shaq had a very good celebrity match.
Yes,
Mike Tyson, Snoop Dogg.
Table bump. No, Snoop Dogg splash was shambolic. Let's not talk about
Yo,
that.
the Snoop tadpole was disgusting, bro.
But,
Yeah,
by the way,
nasty.
real quick, you know what I remembered at work and I started cackling? Remember Cody Rhodes' Snoop Dogg theme that he shambolically used for a couple months?
I do remember that.
What was that about?
I think it was some corporate synergy.
Cody
shit.
Rhodes, bro. Real professional wrestler.
Yo. Do y'all think Cody Rhodes is like on cocaine?
Yes.
Me too, bro.
Where did they even come
shit.
from?
Me too.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Okay, from Ben, thank you for the $5. Backup Hangman is Frieza of this podcast. Frieza, okay. Of this podcast with his evil CM Punk and FTRs. AO is Son Goku turning Super Saiyan to protect us elite
This
fans.
nigga is spitting, bro.
Facts.
Oh god.
I cannot
fire
use
emoji,
a single
Hangman's
part of that
command.
super chat. Shout out to you, Bam. I feel like I know who this is now.
Bam, I'm the good guy in the story, and you know, you guys, you know what's gonna happen. You know those memes that say like, as a kid I thought this, growing up is realizing this. Like someone's gonna make a meme that says growing up is finding out that Hangman was the good guy and AO was the bad guy. That's gonna happen.
That's
You
not.
No.
That's not what's gonna happen.
In true Bret Hart fashion.
You know what
Exactly.
Grown gonna be? Grown up is gonna be like, oh, AO's the funny, crazy guy. But you know, he doesn't really mean anything that he says. That's a childhood right now. Grown up is like, no, yo, not only was AO funny, hilarious, handsome, and swole, but he was also saying 100% facts as well.
I think WrestlePurists' legacy is going to be, wow, what a delightful podcast where this really handsome, well-paid, beautiful man who knows so many things was talking facts every week, and his name was Hollywood Hangman Adam Pearce, and every week he was creatively stifled.
Yo, nobody likes you, little bro.
Listen, to close my thoughts on the video package,
That's crazy.
because of the hit rate of celebrity matches lately, I feel very optimistic that Action Bronson is going to be awesome. Maybe that's optimistic, but it's what I believe. as a grown up, AO is the good guy.
Yo, shout out to Tiger
Shout
Style,
out Tiger
bro.
Style.
Tiger
The
Style.
greatest,
Thank you.
the greatest video editor on Twitter right now. Follow him on Twitter at Tiger Style Pro. Bro, he made me talk about chaining, bro. I do not edit videos anymore because of this nigga. That's not really why. I'm just really busy with work, but it's kind of because of this nigga too. But yo, follow him.
He's upstaging people. What's the next one on the show,
bro.
Monty?
Right.
Matt Hardy cut a promo on Darby Allin.
Yo,
What happened after that?
Why? The thing, it's Rampage, so I'm not gonna complain. Just, but while they were doing it, I was like, why, bro?
No.
But it's Rampage.
No. Ayo, you know what my active opinion was? As he's talking about Darby, all I could think was, please not at Arthur Ashe. Please not at Arthur Ashe. Please not at Arthur Ashe. Please not at Arthur Ashe, because I'm going to Arthur Ashe.
Right.
And so when it said Rampage, I was like, let's go! Let's go!
But is it the Arthur Ashe? No, it's this Rampage.
Is this Rampage? That's why
Yeah, Schroeder.
Yeah,
so it's already happened.
What
Apparently, it's not that bad.
No, I think it's gonna be fine. I was like, yo, Darby's gonna be able to get something out of Matt.
Bro, Ayo, Darby had a banger with Bobby Fish. So like I trust him to.
Don't talk about Bobby Fish. We're not getting into this.
Anyway,
next
next up on the show was Powerhouse Hobbs squashed a guy, got on the mic.
Does anyone have any opinions on this bit of this segment?
No. I would like to know where all this is going. Like, obviously, this is going to Ricky versus Hobbs too, but I want to know the thought behind the road that they're taking. But besides that, I don't have any thoughts on it.
Hey, yo, you know what's funny about it? It's very WWE-esque, where the babyface lost completely clean in dominant, emphatic, in convincing fashion. He was not screwed. He was not walking in the match injured. Nobody interfered. He just went in and got the shit kicked out of him clean. So why is Ricky walking out like, thinking he deserves a rematch? The only way maybe this works as a story is if Ricky plays the whole babyface thing of like, I'm just going to give it another shot. Maybe I got him this time, maybe, but that's not what they're telling. It just seems like he's walking out as if like he's been wronged, and you haven't been wronged. You just got your ass beat.
So I'm high as fuck when I watch Dynamite. 9
Yeah.
out of 10 times, right? Unless I have work to do, right?
So Tony Khan.
I might not remember correctly. Niggas are so sweet. I might not remember correctly, but didn't Powerhouse Hobbs start cutting a promo on Ricky immediately after the match? Before
like his mouth was like bloodied out, and he grabbed
go
the
ahead,
mic.
Charlie.
You go ahead, Charlie.
Okay, so $5 from Frisco. I won't lie, I think you guys bully Hangman too much.
Yeah!
I don't like it. I think you guys need to turn it up even more so I can love it.
No! No!
Let's go.
Right. Shout out to Frisco, real nigga from the X, bro. Real nigga from the towns. Friend of the WrestlePurists podcast. Fuck Hollywood, Hangman out of peace.
So yeah, I think Hobbs was cutting a promo on Ricky, even though he already.
So why didn't kayfabe just have people fuck about Ricky, bro? You beat this nigga's ass. So Ricky coming out to confront him makes sense. It's like, bro, like, all right, bro, you might have got me once, but I'm not no bitch. Like, I'm gonna keep fighting you, nigga, until I win, right? So that's what Ricky thinks. But why does Hobbs care about him?
Well, Hobbs should be in logically, he should be grabbing the mic going, where the fuck Wardlow at? You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
basically,
Where,
right.
give me some fucking gold, nigga. That's what
Because it wasn't like
kayfabe.
Right, like it wasn't like it took him 20 minutes to beat that nigga. It took him like 5.
That ass.
It literally.
What the fuck?
4 minutes, I think.
What was the next thing on the show, Monty?
Tag title match.
Fucking
Charlie, what do you?
They held it back a lot. I feel they're gonna run this shit.
Oh, absolutely. It felt like just they had a limited amount of time, and they were like, let's just try to fit in really creative and exciting spots. And you know what's funny about it, Monty? It wasn't the smoothest thing in the world in terms of like setting up the spots. There's a lot of like hesitation and time being used to just kind of like get people in place. But when the spot was actually executed, it would be really cool, So it almost like in some ways felt like certain like 90s lucha matches that you would see on like WCW, where like it was kind of a similar deal. It'd be like, all right, this is kind of contrived, and like 2 or 3 guys are getting on the top rope here. You're not sure where it's going, but then when they do the move, it's like it's really cool. The Keith Lee Canadian Destroyer particularly was the big.
Insane.
That was the big spot of the match. Yeah.
Yo, that Destroyer genuinely looked good, bro.
It did.
Like,
it wasn't like clunky.
Like niggas is giving Adam Cole hell over the
Canadian.
fucking what's it called that he used to give him in Japan.
Panama Sunrise.
I was like, bro, like, what do you think? Anybody, like, that's just what's gonna happen. It was like, no, Pentagon said I could get it done, nigga, and he got it done.
Pentagon is a hooper. What did you think of the match,
Adam
Charlie?
Cole's a fucking hooper too. Nigga. Watch him out.
Well, it was my favorite match of the night, but I'm a big tag team wrestling person. It's like one of my favorite types of wrestling. I really loved the spot where Keith just threw Phoenix into the ring to break up the pin. I thought that was really creative. Yeah, I think they did a lot of like innovative spots that people weren't really expecting, like especially with like the Canadian Destroyer. Like I don't think people were expecting that to happen at all. Swerve looked fantastic in this match. I think that he should have a match with Bryan Danielson at some point because he is incredible, and I think that would be really good.
That would be amazing.
But yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think of the match, Rob?
I loved it. I thought the fucking Canadian Destroyer spot was like one of the best tag spots I think I've ever seen, and it's very, very obvious that they very much did hold everything back. So I really want to see that match again.
You know what's funny, Monty? Our very own Joe Holbert, one of the pillars that started WrestlePurists, he made a tweet.
Oh, is he back with WrestlePurists?
I'm not sure. I just know that I meant our own because he'll always be.
Because
he does match reviews and stuff. We haven't had him back on the YouTube just yet, but you know, it's Joe. Like, he's a brown.
Yeah. The always insightful Joe Holbert. He made an interesting tweet, Monty, about this. So, you know, people always talk about how I want more, you know, matches between people that matter in AEW, like not just like star versus mid-carder, or star versus jobber, right? And the argument, it was always like, oh, but this guy can't take a pin, that guy can't take a pin. But the thing is when you do star versus star, you kind of have situations that, you know, some people might be fond of. Like, for example, tonight Pentagon got pinned. He's technically a champion. And Joe said that even though that's flawed, he'd prefer, you know, important upper tier guys facing each other rather than, you know, predictable matchups where stars face lower tier guys. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about that
concept? I think that the trios champions tried to step into the tag team champions domain, and the tag team champions showed them why they had the tag gold. How is that a flawed storytelling?
No, I think he just meant like in general, like the whole idea, like, yeah, you don't want to always pin champions.
No, you don't want to always do it.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, sacrifices had to be made when you put, you know, upper tier stars against each other. Yeah. You know, if you do a Danielson versus Hangman like they did last week, someone has to lose there. And does that sting a little bit? Sure. But I actually think that when two top guys have a hard fought, spirited match, and one guy just happens to beat the other guy clean, I think it's actually less damaging than when you do like all like the 17 run-ins bullshit type of stuff.
Right.
You know, because sometimes when they do that, it makes the babyface look really stupid.
Look dumb as hell.
Look really dumb.
Look this fucking idiot.
Yeah, because like, bro, sometimes in interferences, someone will be on the apron and it's like, ooh, what is this person doing? Let me stop paying attention to the match. And it's like, no, pay attention to the match. You know how this goes. But yeah, that's kind of my thinking. So I agree with you.
I want to ask the Lucha Bros stands in the chat, right? And people here, I don't think anybody here is like a Lucha Bros stand, but would you rather, right, the Trios champions, Lucha Bros, who are very over, everybody loves, get pinned clean, right, by the tag team champions, or would you have rather seen Swerve in Our Glory versus the fucking like Workhorsemen or fucking or the fucking as
well, the Workhorsemen, you know.
Nasty.
There's worse examples of like B-level tag teams.
No. That's a good comparison. That's a good comparison.
The pinky ring niggas.
Ayo, don't let Monty bully you. That's a perfect comparison because that's a super Tony Khan ass match that he would have done. You know, where like it would have just been, you know, just a team like that. You know what I mean? I feel like that match even happened on a Dynamite. That's the funny.
They did do some bullshit like that. I'm like, damn, bro, like, them up. Like, so would you rather Lucha Bros fans, would you rather watch them have a great match with the tag champions and then lose, or would you rather Lucha Bros just not be on TV this week and then you watch Swerve in Our Glory versus fucking Bear Country? You let me know.
I'd rather watch them lose a match, to be honest.
Like,
Like,
you let me
it's not
know.
like they're losing to geeks. Like, they lost
No.
the tag
They're
champ.
alliances.
And the other thing about
Alliances.
overprotection in wrestling is I feel like bookers overthink it sometimes. I think if your gimmick is that you're this killer or this badass, then yeah, you should be protected.
Right.
You know, you shouldn't pin Lance Archer, you know, regularly. You shouldn't pin Hook regularly. Top guys who are main eventers, you should also protect them because they're top guys. But like some of these other people, like if they have great matches and lose interchangeably, you know, in generally clean fashion, it's just not the end of the world. It really isn't.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was nice that we had two high level tag teams.
All it takes in wrestling, bro, is just one promo. It's like, I'm not playing around anymore.
To heat you back up.
Yeah, to heat you back up and be like, all right, so I expect this person to win matches now, right?
Hey, yo, the other thing is, for like, I mean, this is obvious, but protection happened in an era where people thought wrestling was real. Okay,
yeah,
we protected wrestlers because it was like, okay, hold on.
Ric Flair genuinely should not be losing fights to so and so.
Yeah, because okay, someone read this out, Charlie. This is another reference here. Go ahead.
From Bam again, thank you. Robin Chris, Gohan, you've got to stop sending us with things I can't read. Gohan beating Cell backup Hangman with their ghost. AO Goku with that father-son.
Kamehameha.
Yo, this is definitely CG.
Thanks for all the
right?
enjoyment. Joe H.
I'm fucking crying.
Joe H is ghost.
Oh yeah.
Oh, appreciate the $5, bro.
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
Out of Hangman every week is very easy.
It's not. But listen.
Work.
Here's the thing. So that's the thing, AO. Like when people didn't know that wrestling was not real, you know, it was very important that the top guys don't lose, so you don't think, okay, they you know, they can get beat up by people. You know what I mean? So you had to protect them. But it's not. We all know it's not real. If Swerve loses, we're not thinking like, oh man, he's just not as strong as this guy because he lost a wrestling match. Like, no, most people know that. Not everybody who watches wrestling knows it's not real. You know, that's like of a certain age. And they're watching it for the entertainment of the stories, and they're watching for the quality of the matches. So it's just not the end of the world.
Right.
What was the next thing on the show, Monty?
Women's tag match and the whole like Jamie Hayter thing after.
What did you think of this, Charlie?
I thought it was a good match. Like 3 of the women looked good in it.
Oh,
yeah.
Can
you name
Britt Baker was also there.
Okay.
Oh,
shout out to Anna.
Yeah.
She's still here. It's just I got to go. I'm crying. Is it doesn't support women's wrestling anymore?
No, she doesn't.
I mean, like, there's not really much to say about the actual match itself. Like, I don't really remember any of the spots. The post match I didn't like, but I guess like it kind of makes sense because Jamie doesn't want Toni Storm to be like doing well, but she's also just helped out Britt Baker inadvertently. Anyways, what are we doing?
There was very little tension in that post match spot. Like I never thought for a second that Toni was gonna bring Britt Baker with that chair. Not Toni, that Jamie was gonna bring Britt Baker with that chair. I always thought she was gonna hit Toni Storm with that chair. So like, whatever. Nigga.
It was weird because so when she first ran out to make the save, I was like, this is kind of weird because why is she just out of nowhere now being like a savior for Toni? So I'm glad that she just wasn't that.
This isn't even true.
Miss J Doom, same for women week after week. It's not, but the funny thing is, it feels like it, and I don't know why.
It does feel like it, but that's not.
Because it's Brit.
Yeah, it does feel like
it's not the same for women.
You know what it is?
She's either in the match or she pops up.
Yo, no, this actually brings up a good point because she's literally wrong, and yet it does feel the same every week, and I think it's because it's the Brit verse with everyone else, and everyone else is just kind of popped in interchangeably. They don't really matter, and you know, Serena Deeb was in this match, and if I'm not mistaken, she got the pin. And yet she was like not even the third. She was not even the third most relevant like aspect of this whole angle. Athena was in the match. Like she could have been. That could have been anybody in the spot. And so you
know what's crazy about you calling it the Britverse though?
Yeah,
and it is the Britverse. And you guys know that like I'm not a Britt Baker fan anymore, bro. Like I've not enjoyed her work for a very long time. But right now is the most that I've enjoyed the world women's title scene since Sheeta was champion. My nigga, like I like what's going on right now. Like I'm not gonna lie and say I'm super invested because I'm not super invested. But I like the matches. I love Tony Storm. Like I like what they booked for Grand Slam.
I like Tony.
Like I enjoy what's going on, bro.
I'm really just disappointed that Chris Statlander got hurt. Because I was really yeah, yo, Charlie, I was actually
Chris Statlander.
her bits on TV with Athena were really fun for me.
They were,
you know, I was into that versus the Baddies feud, and then Velvet got hurt, and you know, Statlander got hurt. It's really unfortunate because that was my favorite stuff going on in the women's division. So like because like Statlander's hurt and they don't know what to do with Jade now because of that. We're back to just kind of primarily focusing on the Britverse, which, you know, look, for me, I'm just, you know, it's just kind of whatever. So,
yo, I do not envy Tony Khan with trying to figure out what to do with
Jade Cargill
right now.
He is in a quagmire when it comes to what to do with Jade and Wardlow because they're both similar in that they are they have big.
I don't agree. There's so many people for Wardlow to have good matches with and beat on the roster right now. So I don't agree. I don't think that it's the same situation. But Jade has like run through everyone who's like not in the world title picture right now.
It's a similar kind of booking awkwardness. So,
is there any free agent woman that we're not thinking of that like could be an upper level star in the division?
She's not a free agent just yet. She isn't a free agent just yet, but she will be like very soon.
Who are we talking about?
Mia Yim.
Not good enough. Is there anybody else?
Mia Yim's cool.
No. Listen. Wait. All right, so let me explain. I mean, so I'm looking for somebody that can come in and just beat Jade Cargill, and Mia Yim is not.
Oh, there's no one in the business that I'll do that with.
No,
Sasha. No,
Sasha Banks is literally the only.
I would have Sasha Banks do it.
That's not
like if they I fucking love Naomi. I think Naomi would be.
No, she shouldn't be beating Jade in the first match.
But Naomi should not do that.
Julia
Hart is nasty.
Okay, you know what?
Julia Hart, bro.
the starter wrestler. You know what? Yeah, maybe we should actually look in the Joshi direction for someone high level that's available that we can pop in to throw the TBS title on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
We might have to look there because I'm thinking about free agency and stuff.
If Miyu
Yamashita
comes over full time, right? Well, how better to get her over as like a fucking killer than to kick Jade Cargill's head off?
Deonna Purrazzo will be a free agent soon.
Yo, if that, no.
Charlie's face.
Charlie
made a bigger
said Asuka,
right? That reaction, let me make it clear.
Oh, Benny. Okay.
Let me make it clear, right? That reaction was not to the idea of AEW signing Deonna Purrazzo because
go ahead and sign her. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and sign her if you want, okay? I don't care either way.
The big draw of Riho should be Jade Cargill.
If Deonna Purrazzo beats Jade Cargill, I will be all entertainment. I'm telling you right now. I will be all entertainment. Don't play with me like that, bro.
Okay. Yo, Sawyer James says Riho should beat Jade, and like he may or may not be memeing, but to be honest with you, we should explore that. We should just explore the idea that
put it back on a Joshi, bro. Put it on.
Israel $5 super chat. Go ahead, Charlie. Read it out.
Speaking of women, Mother Israel is making her WrestlePurists podcast return next week. I expect to see you all there. Fuck Henry, fuck CM Punk, Seth better. Good night. Love you, Israel.
Israel, we appreciate you. Your opinions on CM Punk are shambolic.
No, they're very accurate. Ever since Israel's opinions on CM Punk have been very accurate and completely true ever since the All Out Media Scrum. Basically,
Can we let's
what's the next thing on the show?
Yeah. Main event, Danielson versus Jericho.
Really? We're already there. Wow, we kind of went.
Yeah, man. Obviously,
damn it! It felt like the show. I don't know what it is. Like it felt like not a lot happened. I don't know. Like there's not much to say about it.
I feel like not a lot happened. But
it's weird. Like there's just not much to say about some of this.
I don't know what to say about this match other than.
Well, we've been going for nearly 2.5 hours. I'm sure.
Yeah, but not a lot of it. The Dynamite review was only like the last 25 minutes. You know,
No,
that never
he
happened.
was waffling.
It
It
was
was way
longer than
longer than that. It was way longer than that than Hangman.
Way
He
longer.
was
than that.
waffling for a
Yeah.
long time before we started the Dynamite review.
You've
No.
spoke. You've spoke for at least 45 minutes about
Oh,
Dynamite.
fucking weak.
It's not true. It's really not true. It's just not true.
Bro, but why didn't they have this match at All Out?
I have a perfect explanation for this. I'm gonna have. Here's actually one of my monologues. I have a monologue on this.
All right,
Oh no! Before
Yo, calm down, everybody. God damn. Charlie's like,
at All Out, they called it in the ring. This one seemed a bit more planned out.
Yeah, but
We don't need it. Do we really need
I get it, bro. I
Hollywood
get it, bro. These
fans?
are two of the greatest wrestlers of all time. But like, All Out, why are you calling it in the ring?
I have a better actual reason. That's even better than calling in the ring thing, Monty. Chris Jericho at his age cannot wrestle the way he used to. But when he cosplays Lionheart, he has to act like his old self. And you know, in the last few years, Chris Jericho's wrestling had declined because he was physically incapable of wrestling like Y2J, like Lionheart Chris Jericho. And in my opinion, this year, he found a new solid stride in terms of his style by changing what he does. The Eddie Kingston match dragged him into a new way of working that he's kind of adopted.
Eddie literally dunked him on his fucking head and like shook something loose and like made a new Chris Jericho, bro.
Yes. He literally said, work like an old Japanese wrestler. Before I leave, make sure y'all leave a comment on the video when it's posted. Like the video if you haven't, and follow me at Twitter at Rollins.
Yes, please do all those things. Please, if you haven't liked the video yet, please like it.
Like the video.
It'll help us out a lot. Leave a comment when this goes live. Well, not when it goes live, but when we is done being live. That'll help the video a lot too, please.
100%. I don't even know.
Oh, Israel.
$2 from IDEKCA. Where were y'all during the Mox Danielson stare down?
I was in bed watching TV.
Watching the show.
I was in bed.
Yeah. Thank you for the donation.
Thank you for the $2.
Yeah. More Casey.
IDEK.
The Acclaim title shot feels due to the fans. $2 completely. They've gotten
so. Yeah, we completely skipped over.
Title shot.
Do you feel AEW concedes too much to fan reaction? What do you guys think about that?
I don't think so.
Regarding the Acclaimed, they've gotten much more over than they were ever supposed to the point where now they feel like a super big time act. And it's astonishing. It's astonishing what they're losing
on Wednesday, bro.
You think so? Really?
Yeah.
No way. No way.
Bro, the Acclaim,
no way. They
can't.
They
is
can't.
Losing on Wednesday.
They
Swerve
can't.
Go full dickhead, and Keith Lee and Swerve are gonna hate each other while doing tag champs.
They can't do that. They can't do that.
Like put the belts on FTR.
They're gonna riot.
I think they're losing as well.
Really?
Really? Wow.
You think they're gonna lose 2 straight?
Yeah, I think the match is only happening because of how hot it was at All Out. It's always literally. I think at the press conference.
The match
at the press conference,
what Monty just said. The match is only happening because
at the press conference, you literally saw Tony Khan like think it through, like, oh, I'm doing this again. So for them to take the titles off, like,
bro,
I don't know.
Anthony Bowens give them a 1 month reign.
Is gonna go for a fucking pin to end the match on Keith Lee, match 1, and he's gonna get brained by the fucking tag belt from Swerve, bro. I'm telling you.
I think,
and then we'll get booed out the fucking building, and that'll be the reaction that TK wanted.
I think Swerve in Our Glory loses, and Swerve turns heel on Keith Lee. But regarding the main event, Monty, look, Jericho, Eddie Kingston pretty much showed him this year that the way you need to wrestle is to do chops and suplexes. You are no longer athletic or fast enough to run the ropes and do your drop kicks and all that old Jericho stuff, and that's fine. And I think Jericho has done some of his best work this year in a long time because of this. But when he had to go back to being Lionheart against Bryan Danielson, it didn't work because he just can't physically do that. And so in this match, when it's generally let's trade elbows and strikes, of course that's going to be way better. Bryan Danielson's a master at that, and Jericho, that works better for him. This match was generally very good. To be honest with you, to be really completely frank with you, when Jericho was in control, it threatened to fall apart a couple times because his offense didn't look that great to me. I mean that completely sincerely, specifically in the final stretch, because I thought most of this was very good. Towards the end, when it turned into Danielson has a knee injury, Jericho's working his knee. But once he got him back in the ring after the figure 4, he was like trying to get him in a Walls of Jericho, and that spot was okay. But then he got him in a figure 4, and they were like trading like punches and stuff. It just didn't look that great to me. But regardless, Danielson got back in control. He did he struck him and all that shit, and then he beat him. This was way better than their pay-per-view match. I think we could all agree. I'm really glad that Bryan Danielson won this match. I'm gonna write an article, Monty, about this upcoming Moxley Danielson match, because I have a lot to say there that I won't say here. But I'm glad Danielson won the match, and I actually really, really hope he wins the AEW championship. I think it's time. So that's kind of my general opinion on this whole thing.
It definitely is time.
They can't put that belt back on Mox right now, right after taking it off of him.
No,
that would be some. Well, Kenny and CM Punk are gone. Guess we gotta go with this loser again type shit. And Mox deserves way better than that. Put that belt. It
would be a consolation prize.
Yeah, it would literally be a consolation prize. Like, and while Danielson wouldn't be champion without all this shit going down too, it's fucking Bryan Danielson, bro, and he was always gonna be world champion at some point anyway, right? So why not now?
Totally agree.
Yeah,
totally agree.
And Danielson's just the fucking man. So
last
night, his performance last night, the selling, just the general, like, just he's he's Bryan Danielson.
The idea that like Bullet Club has tried it, but like Blackpool Combat Club is doing it better than they've ever done. The idea that like they can just like fight, right? Yeah, and they can fight and shake hands, and it's still love at the end of the day, and they still Blackpool Combat Club. I love that shit, bro.
I love it.
It really fits like the theme of the what's it called? Of the stable.
Yeah,
it's like an MMA gym. Like niggas in that same MMA gyms fight sometimes, right? It's so fucking they train together for fucking 5 years, they end up fighting. They're so fucking friends afterwards and shit. Like,
yeah, I agree, and it actually sets the precedent for Daniel Garcia to join the stable and continue fighting with Wheeler Yuta. Because some people would argue like, if he joins, and it would have to end the Yuta thing. No, it doesn't. They could literally
you can keep the story going if anything.
Yeah, they could literally have a strong rivalry, under the nose of Danielson and Mox, where they genuinely like have strong competitive rivalry. And you could even make the story that they still have bitter feelings towards each other, but at the end of the day, they know as wrestlers that they have respect for their abilities.
Unfortunate typo. What?
Hey, yo. Go ahead and read that first, Charlie.
Charlie, go ahead and read that, man. Go ahead, Charlie.
From George Russell, I love how Regal's BCC crew is rising to the occasion when AEW needs them the most. Also, Paul Michael Levesque, 0. Anthony Rafiq Khan, 7. How about Jerry the King Lawler's promo on Bianca?
Yo, Jerry the King Lawler's promo on Bianca was very racially motivated. What the fuck?
That was weird.
It's crazy. Because he was obviously like working, but at the same time, it was like, hold on a minute, mate.
Charlie, did you see that?
On the fucking bump or whatever that was.
Charlie, did you see that?
Weird, bro.
Yes. I did see it as well.
Man was like, I don't like Bianca Belair. She needs to cut her hair.
It
was like, okay. Like, okay.
We got another super chat. There's one last one before I start winding down.
Athena versus Shida is the money match.
Factual. Another one. The exchanges in the women's tag match last night between Athena and Serena Deeb were tremendous, whatever we got of them. That would definitely be a singles match that I would buy into. Not gonna lie, I just think Athena's offense just looks great. To be honest, and obviously Serena Deeb is like hilariously good. So man.
Yo, I'm so happy that Athena is like coming to AEW and like has a place and is like doing well, because like everybody knew she could work. It's like you weren't about to come in here and be Ember Moon. Like people would have laughed at her. She was like, she was Ember Moon, right? Like with the fucking werewolf shit and the contacts and shit. But like,
I don't think it would have been an issue, to be honest with you.
I don't think people would have liked it at all, bro. I wouldn't have liked it. Like, this is not the promotion for that shit. I don't think.
She's not a spooky wrestler. It's just aesthetics.
I know, but it's just aesthetics. It's just like, bro, like get that shit off my TV, bro. Get Abaddon off my TV.
I think it's a non-issue.
Get Abaddon off my TV. Get Ember Moon. with the fucking contacts off my TV. I love Athena though. Get fucking get the idea of Bray Wyatt in AEW off my fucking TV. Get all that bullshit out of fucking AEW. Keep it in WWE where it belongs, bro.
Okay, Monty, we're gonna wrap up our Dynamite with this. I'm gonna go through everybody. Monty, who should win the AEW Championship next week?
The American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Charlie, who should win the AEW Championship next week?
Bryan Danielson.
Rob, who should win the AEW Championship next week?
Bryan Danielson.
Big AO, who should win the AEW Championship next week?
Danielson, and it's not even fucking close, but that's not an indictment on Mox, who should have been
not at all
Wrestler of the Year, and will be Wrestling Observer Wrestler of the Year.
That's the funny thing about this. We all think Danielson should win, but I think we would all agree that Mox has had a great year and he's been very valuable to AEW, and he's awesome. So yeah,
just giving him the belt back is like a slap in the face.
It's weird. It's weird. Like he should lose.
Let the man go on holiday.
That's the other thing. It makes me uncomfortable hearing that he's sacrificing his personal vacation time with his wife and his child for my entertainment.
Kid, bro. Kid's 6 months old.
Yeah, but the thing is it's he's doing this for our entertainment, and it's bro, no, just go live your life, bro. Go have that vacation. It's cool. You know what I mean? So hopefully that's where we go with this. But yeah, so that was Dynamite. Do we have anything on the docket left, Monty, before we kind of close things up here?
Really? I don't think there is anything. You've done your little NXT talk.
Yeah.
We spoke about Logan Paul.
Yeah. AO would not allow me to read the quarter hours on the air of CM Punk's last two.
Yeah, it's nothing that's gonna send anyone crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up.
All right, so then I want everybody in the chat to give their flowers and round of applause to Charlie, who was tremendous here in her first ever WrestlePurists podcast. Very seamless. It was just very casual, Thank
you for stepping in, Charlie. You did a great job.
Absolutely.
That's so easy to have friends who we speak with regularly on the podcast, bro, because we just have the same conversations.
Literally, it's not like you're overthinking it or you have to find a way to implement them. She just fits in the way she does when we talk to her normally. That's the beauty of it. So if we could get some flowers in the chat for Charlie Purist Flower, Angsty Apple Dunny Flowers, Gerald Rakipi. Tennessee Sooner. Charlie is always great. Yes, she is.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Here we go.
American Dragon.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
gonna wrap this up.
Guys, thank you so much for the super chats. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching us talk for 2.5 hours. For Charlie, Big AO, Rob, and Monty, I am Hollywood Hangman Adam Pierce, and this was the WrestlePurists podcast. We will catch you guys.
Follow me on Twitter.
Of course.
Twitch is coming soon. I decided I'm gonna start streaming the weekend that whenever they announce the fucking AEW game, when they announce a date for that shit, right? Even if they announce that shit in February 2025, that's why I'm gonna start streaming. I'm gonna find something that niggas want to see me stream until that game comes out. I'm gonna stream the game. I got somebody to help me with Streamlabs and shit, so we're gonna be all right. Right, it's gonna be lit. Fuck with me there. Like and subscribe to WrestlePurists. It's a very racist and sexist platform, but it is on. Right,
on the outro.
Leave a comment.
Y'all at AO waffle, but not me. It's crazy.
Bro, listen, I'll be saying that real shit. Nigga.
Listen, follow everybody on Twitter. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys next week.